Your man 151. I got CP3 in the
Money,
good man number
money,
51 in the building. I got DJ.
I love that money.
Lucas.
Money, 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 money. You don't really want to play. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. And you don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. It's money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. Money, 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 make you shut your mouth. Don't never ever talk about it if you never had the clout. You don't know what to say. Stay up out of my way. Cause money, 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 make you shut your mouth. Keep playing with these goonies, boy, I'm gonna have to make the call. Stay in bounds on your pivot, boy, if you gon' ball. Cause a lot of niggas be fake, and you really can't play. Cause we done got it out the mud, nigga, what you talking about? Screaming, oh my God, money got me pride. They living a lie, look into my eyes, they might seem surprised, this is homicide. We just multiply, we been on the rise. If we got some wings, fuck it, we gon' have to fly. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. Day in my life, I take me a different route. And use all my case, niggas on my face. You can get erased, what you talking about? Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. You never crossing these borders. I'm whipping it up, Gordon Ramsay. I swear that I'm cooking these orders. You talk about me, you better just hope that you can just really afford it. I'm ballin', I'm ballin', I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm feeling like Robert Tahori, nigga, I'm scoring. I count in the morning. They talk about me, then I gotta ignore it. My bitches be foreign, so independent, my money be corporate. These rappers is boring. You hate me and I'm always gonna adore it. I'm smoking that soaring. She always go ahead and let me explore it. I call her my Dora. You can go and talk about me, I ain't flawless. I go put my all in. If a nigga talk about me, then I'm gone in. You know that I'm gone in. Jump in, take trips, Pompeii. All day, always keep 3 stacks like Andre. I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it, man. And you can never, ever, ever get rid of that. So watch what you say, and watch how you do. If you playing the game, then you play by the rules. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about.
Yo. So, shout out to Renegade. I meant to play the other video, but I couldn't find it. So I didn't play the intro video, but we did play that money video, money convo, of course. Shout out to Gunman number 2 who's in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's going on with you, Gunman number 2?
It's been an interesting week.
Nigga, if you don't pull that mic closer, like you act like you don't work
keep
here.
on forgetting.
We don't got the condensers mic,
I keep
man.
on forgetting, man. My bad. She got tall giants in this motherfucker, man.
Yes.
Nigga, you acting like you small.
I'm just saying, what you got, man? Basketball players come in here doing shows without letting me know.
Nigga, you was not that small to have the mic down that
You
low.
don't even care about the basketball though. Okay, so what difference will it make if they was here?
Exactly.
Nah, man, it's just been, just been the grind. January, crazy month. Got the inauguration. We got, white folks acting crazy.
I don't give a fuck about that.
We gotta talk about it.
I mean, we gotta talk about just, any type of, I don't pay attention to none of that shit.
Yeah, I've been not paying close attention because, where I work at the dealership, we have a lot of conservative folks in there that.
That you cussed out?
No, I tell them.
Area.
No, but I tell them that I talk politics on the air, so you really don't want to have a conversation with me because I'm going to kill you with facts, and that's what happens every time.
So
and I just
it's a
stand
threat.
there. No, I just tell them. No, I
Gunman
just.
number 2, what do you expect?
No, because they just basically regurgitate what they see and hear on TV, and then when I start bringing up facts, when they start to try to talk.
But how do you bring it up? Because you talk.
They'll be talking, and I just happen to be around, and then they'll say something outlandish, and I have to respond.
Or you have to.
Because they're trying to demonize Biden for the racist comments he made in the 70s that he's apologized for.
But is that not? But I mean, wait a minute, because when people do make these comments, and it has come out for other people, we've held them accountable.
Oh yeah, I held them accountable, but the point out with the conversation is that Donald Trump is a real. Basically, my man was saying Donald Trump is a real nigga. He helped the country, yada yada yada. He's spitting that bullshit, and I'm like, well, a real motherfucker admits when he's wrong. And Donald Trump has never done that, and never will do that. So that's already. And then we get into the whole tax situation about not showing his taxes, and every time I bring up that he was on tape saying he had dealings with Putin in 2016, and then in 2018 during the whatever was going on, he tried to deny he had any dealings with Putin at all.
Very true.
And I'm like, why do you think he didn't show his taxes? That's why all presidents show their taxes, to show they don't have any allegiance to anyone else from any foreign nation because of business dealings, and that's why you divest from your companies so you don't have that conflict of interest. And he's done neither. Oh fuck that he don't have to. But every president before him has. So what makes him different and so special that he doesn't have to follow? And it's their logic. They just have so many holes in it. I just leave them with a couple of facts and step off, and they stand there arguing amongst themselves.
Well, I mean, I will say that what you're saying about the taxes is very true. Most public offices, they do, have to show their financials.
There's some government offices.
No, I hired law enforcement, federal law enforcement officers, and they definitely had to go and produce all of their financial documents because we want to make sure they are not going to be any sort of liability. Um, we want to make sure they don't have any dealings with international people that are, as far as like illegal stuff. Do you have out of country um, bank accounts? We look into all of that. So for him to be the president, it was kind of weird that, to me, knowing what I do, it was kind of weird that he wasn't showing his taxes. Like we need to see that.
We know because we know what it like. So we can go deeper into it, but I don't think we're gonna need to.
No, we don't.
Since hopefully
I mean,
a couple of days since.
Ain't you supposed to start with sports? Damn it.
Man, watching football teams, I haven't really had a chance to watch because I've been at work so much. But as of right now,
after Mahomes' concussion,
the Chiefs won the game despite Mahomes getting a concussion. And what I saw, they haven't seen the game. It was apparently maybe a dirty hit.
Ooh.
But the game is over. The Chiefs won 22-17. You got the Buccaneers and the Saints about to kick off at 6:40.
Right.
The Washington Capitals unfortunately lost in overtime to the Pittsburgh Penguins. I didn't really get a chance to watch the game. I was at work, so I'm watching
it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, Robbie, he hit me up and said it was a good game, so I'm gonna definitely check it out.
CP3, either you need to stop talking like you in a Mac convention, or speak the fuck up, cause I can barely hear. Like either move the mic closer or speak the fuck up, man.
I was like, "Is this your sexy voice?" And he was like, "What are you talking about?"
I've been talking all day at work, so my bad. My voice might be a little.
Well, then move the damn mic up. You ain't even registering this bitch.
I gotta get used to it. I'm used to them condensers.
No, no. Even with the other ones, you were talking
But
all,
it picks
you
up
know.
more, so I can still stay low. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know, dog. You know your voice changed like 6 times on the
I
show.
know.
You the regular CP3,
Right.
It
then
And then
you
you
happens.
got the high pitched one.
Hey,
yeah.
depends on how much alcohol flowing, man. You never know
Oh,
who might come out.
well, this Jamaican rum right here.
Yeah, last time you had some Jamaican rum, it didn't taste. I didn't like the taste of it.
Then
Hopefully,
this will be probably something that you might not like the taste of.
no, damn it. That means you gotta drink that as a
I bought you
CP.
some
Man.
chaser.
I tried to see
So
what it
so
tastes like.
so. Ooh, we too high. You know about that? Too high.
What you talking about?
There you
uh,
go.
Lady Antoinette,
Yes, how are you?
pretty good. What the hell did you bring?
A big ass bottle.
This is Appleton Estate Jamaican rum. I love Appleton. This is not actually the one um that's my favorite. Um, but yeah, I love me some Appleton.
Spiced.
No,
Okay.
yeah, So yeah, you'll try that one.
Okay.
That joint look like something wrong with it.
It don't look like nothing wrong with it.
That joint
What?
look
How does alcohol look like something wrong with it? Tell
It
me.
just it just do. It just got that. It's just the shape of the bottle.
Are
The
you
It's like
shape of the
it's like
bottle.
beware.
The
nigga? Are you
shape of the
scared?
bottle is like a
Nah,
BBW shape. It come in like a little bit right here
it
and
got
come
that. You
out.
gotta beware of the BBW because
What? We
they
gonna be
might throw because
weird,
they
man.
might throw it on you unexpectedly. You don't be
So
expecting
you
that, and
think this bottle gonna throw it on you?
yeah, thank you. You finally get it.
So
Whenever y'all get bring
so
stuff from the islands, man, that
so
stuff be
Oh
crazy.
my
oh,
goodness.
CP3, you slipping by the way.
What that is?
First of all, you gonna walk in here with your new gear, made by
Ain't
Air,
Oh,
said nothing.
made by Air
Ain't
Cruiser.
I
said
figured we would get
nothing.
into it later on. I'm always
Yo, shout out to his socks. His
trying
sock,
to
I'm
have
gonna
a
hold you
nice
down.
hot new sweatsuit. We'll be having more made up. I'm getting the price details worked out. So as soon as I get that worked out, it will be available through me, of course. You can always check out Sports OTHP apparel on sportsothp.com. Click the button. You can get Sports OTHP t-shirts, hoodies,
We need to get the
sweatshirts.
back of this right quick.
I wasn't trying to
I
be a
don't know
model.
if we could. You
I
know you're
wasn't
not
trying to
gonna be
be
a
I wasn't
model.
trying to be a model
Mm.
tonight, but
Can
I'm
we
Mm.
see?
gonna
Is it
take
in the frame? Can we see
Uh,
that?
Probably not, cause he's probably standing up. Hold
Look.
on. Do it
Well,
again. Do it
I'll
again,
never.
Oh, it
CP3.
looked like it was in the
See,
frame.
do it again,
It looked like it was
CP3.
in the
So,
frame.
Yeah, it do look like on my side.
Uh huh.
Yeah, it look
oh
like
yeah,
it.
it's in the frame.
Uh huh. He fancy a little
So
bit.
had to pull it out there. I didn't want to make a big deal and start off the
Uh
show,
huh.
but I was gonna
Uh
ease
huh.
into it later on, probably after our
Mm,
guest came on.
Mhm.
Got to get my spot in.
mm.
Mhm. Sure.
All right, let's go ahead and pop this bottle. See what that thing
Uh oh.
tastes like.
Ooh, you getting bold tonight.
Immediately.
I ain't really.
You got $40 in your wallet?
Oh
I have
Lord.
no cash on me tonight.
You don't.
No, I got $2.
They
I
be
got I
taking
got two
cash app
dollars this
now.
You can
time.
cash app
They
him. You know that,
take
right?
cash app
Hey
now.
man, she do a massage and we in the house.
Oh
Oh
Lord.
Lord, you ready to spend that 40 for a
Can you
thought.
smell this? Can you smell it?
You know you want a happy ending.
Nah,
You
just
can't smell it. Smell it.
okay.
You see how easy that was to get him to smell it? Ladies, it's easy to get him to smell it. He put his
Yeah, you know.
he put his face right up to the bottle.
Hey, I ain't got no problem exploring.
Well, this is the man. He does everything except for toes.
Hey, I can't do the feet now. I'm
He do
sorry.
pig toes though.
See, yeah, from the
I
rooter
ain't
to the
had pig.
tutor.
Nah, I ain't had pig feet.
You don't want no chaser?
Let's see what it tastes like first before I.
Okay.
You big dog. Oh my God,
Okay.
CP3 is big dogging it in this
Hey
motherfucker.
man, like I said, it's
We
first
don't
one.
normally have chaser, but something told me to bring it.
Well, I'm definitely gonna chase later on because I'm driving tonight. So
Oh
Okay, go
God.
ahead. Go ahead with your bad self. First taste, first taste.
it's
So,
definitely better than the last one I
Oh,
had.
okay.
Yeah, that's definitely
Okay.
better.
so, how many sips before your voice change again, nigga?
I don't know. We gonna find out.
Oh,
Already.
already.
Oh
Dang.
man.
Um,
Yeah, that's pretty nice and smooth too.
so before Lady Antoinette got here, we was having a conversation. Shout out to DJ Grip, he in the building. Um, CP3 and DJ Grip were having a conversation about YF and Lucci, who's an up and coming rapper
Mhm.
who just got arrested.
Yes.
There's like footage of him, like
Serious.
seriously footage of him like pushing the body out the car or whatever.
Mhm.
And we were talking about, you know, we why when you have an opportunity to get out the hood that you don't make these changes in your life.
Mhm.
Um, And DJ Grip was saying he was talking to a young boy, and I was like, I really wish you would have brought the young boy here because he would have got school Grip or his
One
feelings
day,
hurt.
I'll bring him through one day. Yeah,
Okay,
Because
we'll get him through one day.
the young boys do have a whole different mentality.
and the young boy's mentality was basically sometimes you can't get out or some shit like that. What was it? Sometimes you can't get out.
Saying you couldn't get out, or he was saying that they were already in that life,
They was already in the life, so he couldn't get out.
and they just doing that just for extra. Just they
So
making the music just because they had nothing else to do. They're already in the
so
life.
That's how you
and
start.
so the thing about that is
That ain't how you finish.
CP3 related to that part, and and
Of course
this.
he did.
I mean, like I say, if you if you get into the life and you are successful at it and you maintain a certain set of rules, there's ways you can circumvent getting in trouble. And in my eyes, in my alleged past, I had, allegedly some success doing
So, so,
this.
and what I told CP3 is this, because I've been on the other end.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about it is, growing up, when you've been on, I grew up in subsidized housing.
Right.
So that's just a fancy way of saying you still poor, nigga. Real talk. Even though it looked like a townhouse, nigga, HUD pays half of your rent.
Right.
Like you still poor.
Right.
And what that happens is you go through these situations where I've never seen a whole bunch of $1 million anything like that. But my goal is I never wanted to be back on subsidized housing. And there's nothing wrong with that because my mom still lives there to this day. It provided food, clothes, and shelter not only for me and my brother, but for his son, my sisters, and now her children.
Right.
So definitely, there's some advantages to that. However, it's different how people spend EBT cards in the 2000s and how you had to spend food stamps in the 80s.
Never lie.
Oh,
And you getting lobsters.
So,
and shrimp.
so the real difference is like this, and I ain't afraid to say it. We was on food stamps, so probably Malik and maybe a couple of my friends knew. So when you see your gang and your friends in 7-Eleven, and you don't want to pull out the food stamps, and you gotta wait 15 to 20 minutes outside or walk around the block or laughing and joking, you know, it's different. And you weren't holding your head. Oh my God, I got food stamps. You weren't holding your head with your chest out and stuff like that. It was a different mentality. And going through that, I knew I never wanted to be like that again. So since I was 16, I've always worked. I think the longest I've been without a job is 2 weeks. You know, and my mentality is I never want to go back to that. Now, my brother didn't like being poor neither, and he hustled, and that's what got him caught up. But the thing about it is when he came home and was making great money, went back to that life and got in trouble again, and wound up doing a 6-year bid. And here's the thing: what people don't realize is, and as I was telling CP3, if when you on the opposite end, like you see a dude get locked up, but you ain't if you ain't never been the family member on the opposite end of what I remember having when he got locked up the first time, watching my mother cry herself to sleep. I remember putting my grandmother, who used to live literally down the street from where we at now, putting her out my house that night because she came in drunk and she woke my mother up, and I was like, "No, you got to go." Like, I remember when he got locked up the last time, and we had just finished the show at the joint right across the street from Red Lobster. We had just got it. I got in at 3 o'clock in the morning. My phone rang and it was my mother, and I already knew what she was about to ask me. And she said, "I ain't heard from your brother." And I said, I'll be there in the morning." That's all I could tell her. Like, I remember watching my niece suffer because her father is gone. Like, she was a daddy's girl. And I remember watching my nephew, who's like, "Damn." Renegade is like, "Damn, my father just came home. I've had my father for 12 years. Well, I missed him for 12 years. He came home, and now he's gone again." You know, and when I see that, I would never want to put my family through that. You know, because I've been on that opposite end of the spectrum. Like, I remember when back in '93 when I graduated, my brother couldn't come to my graduation, but hell, I graduated in June, and in August, my grandmother died. He couldn't even come to the funeral.
Right. Yep.
You know, even when he came home recently, he couldn't even attend my aunt's funeral
Mhm.
because of probation. Like, so all the stuff that you get to miss because of these situations that you put yourself in.
Right.
So but CP3, I know you have a different take on it.
I mean, it's it's hard to get out the life when you've had success in it and you haven't had any real pitfalls or issues. And I know folks, still to this day that you know do some things, but if you look at it, you'll never know because they operate by a set of rules and they do things a certain way. And I was fortunate enough to get out the life, and a few times I was, excuse me, tempted to go back, but because of a promise I made to my dad before he passed away, and because of good friends, I fortunately never have stepped foot back into that world. But most folks don't have that same, morals to, honor a promise or say they're going to stop doing something, even if they had success at it and nothing really bad happened. They know they can go back to it and be successful at it. But as you say, everything, things have changed and everything isn't always what it appears. And now, with my family, if I go down, it's a whole different ball game because it was a whole different life when I was in that lifestyle. But at first it was out of necessity, and then it was out of, like you said, I was good at it, so I just kept doing it, even when I fixed my financial situation. And then it just, turned into way much more than it, started out to be.
Mhm.
But it's good to get out, like you say. It's good to find better ways to make money,
So
and you
because
know,
your thing was, and what you said was, say about the thing about Jadakiss.
yeah, like Jadakiss back in, I say it was the late '90s, early 2000s. It was a DVD. I forgot the name of it, but Jada was, popping in the rap game, but he still, before weed became legal, he still had his own strips that he was, making money off of, and he wasn't really tripping because at that time it was just going to be a misdemeanor for him, and which is no big deal. And what he was making money hand over
This
fist
nigga
doing that.
voice don't stop changing.
Up and down.
I'm something like a pimp, something like a Mac, baby.
Okay, go ahead, because now you finally registered.
This is why I
Yeah,
looked at him
what
like,
the fuck?
what?
See the shit we
Now,
go through, grip.
hey
See,
man,
It's nonsense.
this is my getaway show right here. I need to
so
cut up.
but here's the thing, and my counterpoint to your whole Jadakiss situation is Style P, also from the lot, owns several juice bars.
Mhm.
And She Glooch owns several properties in Atlanta and a couple other states. You know, and here's the thing. So my brother had peoples. I ain't gonna say his name. He had peoples, and I remember it because it was like I was working at a bank, and he was a rapper, and then he was good. And I remember the feds ran up in his spot,
Mhm.
and thank God he didn't go to jail, but it could have really put a big halt in his career.
Right.
And there was a time when, shit, rap on the tour bus, nigga, they was running that joint like the like track meets at one point. Oh, you a rap? You you a rapper? You got a chain? Oh, let's just
Mhm.
what you got up on here? You know, um, and I get it because it's the lifestyle, but eventually you have to make changes from that particular lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually, yeah. But it's hard to make that change when you don't necessarily feel there's a need to until you don't see the big picture. Like I say, that was when he was still in his late 20s, early 30s. So now he's older. He's a father. If you follow him on Instagram, you see he was teaching his daughter to drive. So it's, like you say, with age and maturity and knowledge and wisdom and seeing things from a different perspective, you know, change can change anybody. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I'm definitely a testament to that.
Oh yeah, yeah. CP3. It's you talked about one of the reasons that you didn't go back in the lifestyle is because the promise you made to your father, and also you said GOP has helped you out a lot and stuff like that. Um,
Oh,
that wasn't even my nephew. That was actually somebody that works for me.
never fail.
They probably trying to call out for Monday. No,
You know it's a holiday, right?
Yeah, you know
not
your
for us.
Me neither.
your pay different though. That's all that matters.
So
But yeah, I mean, I feel like in reference to these young guys not being able to get out of the life, um, it's a choice. You know, there are a lot of rappers that have made it to a certain level, and we know what their past was, but that has nothing to do with their current or their future. You're making a choice, and I feel like they're not looking at the big picture.
oh yeah.
And a lot of these young guys, they want to be honorable, but in the wrong way. You know, they're
CP3 can relate.
yeah.
I mean,
It's like they want to be honorable as far as street wise. You know,
but
their street life you honorable, but you're not on the other aspect. You gotta know which direction you need to go and how it's going to affect you.
but you know how many people try to have a foot in both sides of it. Not
That's not
just in
gonna
the.
work. That's what I'm saying.
We know that,
Yeah.
but what most people don't realize it until they're knee deep in it and are going through it. Because see, this is the thing that I realized when I was in the life. If you follow rules and do things a certain way, you can get away with it for a long time.
However,
However,
however, and this
There
is
is a fork
and
in the road, and you have to go a
so
direction.
so 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 here's the however part. My brother followed a lot of rules, never got caught,
Hmm.
but somebody else had loose lips.
Yep, always.
And those are things that the unknown situations we can't control. And he was the type of dude when his peoples came home from being the dudes he was locked up with, they did him the same way. When you come home, they take you shopping,
Hmm.
they
Yep,
put some money in your pocket
yep,
to make sure you straight.
that's the way it's supposed to be.
And he still did that to a nigga, and the nigga snitched on him.
yep.
Actually, the niggas who snitched on him ain't about his case. It was about he gave him up because he wanted to get out of another case.
Yep, usually. And here's the thing, you gotta understand in that world, people get jealous, and they get jealous fast.
Oh, they do.
But they get a reason to get jealous because most folks flash or
That's what
show
I'm
or
saying.
talk
But
about
not
what they
even just
do.
that. So if you straddling the fence, right,
Mm-hmm.
and you starting to get a little success as a rapper, people you don't think would get jealous are going to be
Well,
jealous.
see that well in that aspect,
And
yeah,
that's why
that's a
you
whole
can't
different. Yeah,
you can't do that. You can't
yeah.
go
If you're,
both
yeah,
ways.
well, if you're
I
going to
mean,
go to the rapper,
financially
then
you can't because now the IRS gonna be all in your business.
but you got better ways to clean money
You right. However,
You
the
think?
heat is on you.
than
You
The
sure?
heat is
yeah, you
on
do.
you.
You sure?
Fake private shows. Well, now with COVID, it's hard to
No,
get.
no, not because
People still get caught up.
yo,
Yeah, you can get caught up, but
I,
like I
I,
said, if you do
I would
things
tell you
a
like
certain
this. A
way,
lot of stuff you saying, I know people been there, done that,
Right.
yeah.
And they got
and
caught
yeah,
up. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, you get to choose which direction you go
Yeah,
in
it's
any
definitely a choice.
situation.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna
definitely
be
a
real
choice.
with you right now on this show. You know me the longest, but you still don't know my past. And
No,
there's certain things in my past I'm never gonna let you know.
yeah, I mean that's
And
cool.
that's not just you, it's
That's
just
anybody.
anybody
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, I made a choice a long time ago in my life on what direction I wanted to go to. And I didn't turn back. Yes, it makes me part of who I am, but I don't have to let people know about that. I've created my own image. You do that yourself.
Yeah, true.
So you don't have to, you don't people understand they keep saying, "Oh, well, I can't get out. I can't." You can.
Well, most of the time it's because
You
other
can.
folks are telling them they can't, and they
Yeah,
have
but you
no one.
can.
Yeah, but some folks don't have that positive reinforcement from elsewhere, or haven't stood in themselves to see that
That's true.
that's true.
until someone shines that light in their eyes and let them see that hey,
They
you
give you
can.
Nigga, if your voice changed one more fucking time, nigga,
Cause it drink, it
nigga,
go
we only
up and then
18
go
minutes in
down,
the
and
show,
then
and
go
your
up and
shit
then
done
down.
changed like 6 times,
Sipping
nigga.
on the drink,
I
man.
tried to give you.
Ah!
I
Sipping
tried
on the
see.
drink,
I
having a
tried to
good
give you
time.
chaser because
No,
it'll
I'm
help
cool.
mellow you out. Cause
I'm
you know you
chilling.
be all over the place.
What the hell?
Like
Nigga,
real talk, you be
you
right.
went
You
from
be
you went from motivational speaker to thug
You know I go through my
to
transitions on the
to
show, baby.
But no,
and look. He got the one finger out when he drinking. He trying to get
I got
fancy.
the Jamaican rum, baby.
okay,
Got
but
the pinky out.
usually you don't stick the pinky out until later on in the show.
You only on your
I
first
told you
drink,
it's been a rough week, man. How much time did I tell y'all, man?
But
Rough
no,
week.
I think
nigga.
I'm gonna fall out. If he grabbed that table like he did a few weeks ago and look at me all scared
Yo.
because he can't get himself together, I'm gonna fall out. I'm gonna just let y'all know now.
Hey, that was a
Yo,
rough one right
yo.
there, bro.
Oh yeah, first of all, yeah. Shout out to Go Villain who was here last week.
Yeah,
Go Villain had the moment of the week.
yeah.
Oh,
He
shit.
took a sip of that 130. He was like, "Can I get some of that?" It was the liquor he brought.
He said it's taking my throat. He said my throat gone. It took my
And y'all
throat.
wonder why I was chasing it with a beer. That shit was hard. I don't know how y'all was drinking that shit with no chaser.
Yeah, I was good with no
That was
chaser.
good.
Y'all ain't got no damn blunt in y'all throat.
That's really how you about to put that?
You sound a little judgmental there, sir.
That's really how you about to put that?
We ain't got no lining in our throat.
That's how you gonna put that.
I'm just saying.
Really?
Y'all
You
know
really?
That's
feel
what we
shit.
gonna say. That's what we gonna say.
Don't give him no rides no more. Unappreciative. Black people some unappreciative motherfuckers. So, I like this topic because I thought it was very interesting. Salute to Betty White. She just turned 99.
Today, yes.
You know, yo, CP3.
Yo,
Would you still hit Betty White?
You would.
not now.
Yes, you would.
Back in the old days.
Yes, you would.
I
She
seen
got
some of
money.
the pictures.
She got money. You would.
Alright, 99? Nah, I need to put in the wheel before.
So you would hit her when she was 98, nigga?
Right.
I just said no,
You hit it yesterday.
I need to be in the wheel before I hit it because I need to.
So if you was in the wheel,
hey,
you would hit it at 99.
I knock the dust off.
Ew.
You know you have no more.
It's so gross.
on a Sunday evening.
You know what? You almost made me not want to take another drink with that thought.
Hey, you open that can of worms.
I need to take one. Right.
You driving people to drink.
he got DJ Grip. He said fuck the cup. He drinking from the bottle.
Right. He drinking from the bottle because of you.
You made the DJ drink from the bottle.
Hey, man, you on the 1 and 2 is gonna be wild, baby.
Man.
But I feel you on those older pictures. I saw
Yeah,
she was young.
I told
Yeah,
you.
She was young.
She was fly when she was young.
She was very shapely. I saw her. I was like, okay, yeah.
But she
So-
got that money now.
So you would. So if she had you in the will at 99, you would still tap it at least one.
You ain't gotta do too much, man. You know.
Oh.
You gonna kiss her wrinkles?
Nah. Nah.
I'm so grossed out right now.
It's gonna be a contract.
A contract.
So what if she wants some obligations because she wrote the contract? If you want money, she gonna want some things.
Depends on the amount.
You might have to give her a foot massage.
Well, I mean, what about
I don't mind
Cicely?
giving a foot
Cicely
rub.
younger than her.
Cicely,
Cicely Tyson, she's like 96.
I ain't saying I'm trying to find 90-year-old.
I'm just saying, like, would you, Cicely got that money too.
This is getting uncomfortable.
I'm sure it is.
But you know that.
So, but Betty White wasn't uncomfortable
But-
when you first brought her
It
up?
was just
And
a
then when I
joke.
had another old lady,
Yeah,
now
because
you're
the first it was a
uncomfortable.
joke, now it's an introspective on my thought process. I'm like, hold fast. I never thought about it this deeply. I was just making a
But
fucking
you
joke.
said that, Betty White being 99, that's a little too old. Okay, Cicely 96. All right.
I just want to make an observation. You notice for the white woman he jumped.
Yep.
For the black lady.
He fell back for the black lady.
No,
For the black lady, he stutter step.
Because it was her birthday, we was having fun.
Where would you at on the 6th?
What?
Where was you at on the 6th?
Probably at work.
Oh.
Where else would I be at?
So-
Was downtown on the 6th?
Nah, I went back.
You
in
probably
there.
was.
I see your brace off, so you heal. You ain't the back no
First of
nobody.
all,
Oh, shit.
I didn't fight nobody on the 6th.
It's a miracle.
I hurt my wrist on the 6th, but that was just a
It happened to be the
coincidence.
same day.
Yeah.
Most
It was a
people went crazy
coincidence.
down at the cabin.
It was a
So
coincidence.
see, I got some sports for you, CP3.
What's going on?
Someone shared one of my videos. That means they probably want me to play their song. A Maryland teen boy becomes a junior bull riding state champion for Maryland.
Mm.
13-year-old Nicholas Jackson made history after becoming the newest. This is back in 2020, so it was like last month. Bull riding champion, the junior bull riding finals in Texas,
Mm.
and he's black.
Go ahead with your
Right.
bad self.
He's black.
There's still black. There are some black folks that ride horses. Why they staying in
Well, I
Cleveland?
mean, it's shocking that he's from Maryland
Yeah.
and he's a black young man that won.
You know, right down the street from where we live, there's folks that got horses.
Okay, they went to Texas.
Yeah,
Okay, you got to remember what Texas
yeah,
is.
I know.
Like if they
Because I
had,
know some black men in Texas that,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
you know, what I mean, no, no. I hate to say this like this now. If they had the fastest getaway runner,
You know
and he
what?
was from Maryland, I could see him winning.
It's terrible.
Like that's amazing. He was the fastest bull rider. You
yeah.
know.
Some of those, some of those kids really take to it, and
Hmm.
it's even out in
Mm.
Compton. They have a horse riding farm, a
In
horse school.
Compton,
Yeah, I saw the story on I think it was like 2020 or something. They
you watched 2020. Damn, we
I
didn't
watch,
know these things about you,
man, you know,
CP3.
I try to keep
I
my
thought the only thing you watched was sports and porn.
You know what? It makes sense because I think he like little old white ladies.
Oh, okay.
Barbara
Barbara
Walters
Walters was that
was
shit back in the day.
on
Would
there.
you would
That
you
makes
would you
sense,
tap Barbara
right?
Walters? Don't
nah,
answer that. Finish the story.
nah. She just talk too much. But nah, but and y'all made me lose my train of thought and shit.
Because Barbara Walters,
Walters.
huh?
You thinking about Barbara Walters and
She
Betty
be
White
looking.
threesome?
That's your boo.
You thinking about a threesome with Barbara Walters and Betty White?
Oh yes, honey.
Some
There's a
gray
lot of
matter.
money in that room.
Some gray matter when you go downstairs.
Don't leave no money on that table.
Um,
Get that money.
here's a story that you would enjoy,
Mhm.
CP3, because you can relate to this shit.
Uh oh.
Vernon Maxwell
Mm.
on a podcast recalls the time that Akeem Olajuwon slapped the taste out of his mouth,
I saw that.
and he said basically he he used to get mad and spit on the court,
Mm.
and he did it in front of Akeem Olajuwon,
Mhm.
and he said, "Don't do that. That's disrespectful."
Mhm.
And he was like, "Yo," so I spat in front of him again. He said, and he's yo for a dude to slap the taste out your mouth and you admit it on a podcast must be a hard ass slap 20 years later.
Yep.
Because Hakeem is one of the greatest citizens ever played. What you gonna do? And he was a man. He was a mother
So
that
just
was
because he was
chill.
a great player, you let him slap you?
No, I'm just saying he was a chill dude that didn't lose his temper.
That's
And
true.
Brandon Maxwell was an asshole. We all know that.
I mean, he probably did deserve to be
Yeah,
slapped, but
he
I was
did.
wondering where you was going.
Now I'm just saying if
How
you
many times
know,
have you slapped the taste out of somebody's mouth?
Yes, do tell.
there's been a few occasions,
Mm-hmm.
allegedly.
And
Here we go with
how was it
allegedly.
allegedly if you telling the story?
Nobody
He
else
said
was
it's been a
around.
few
Mm,
cases allegedly.
allegedly.
Yeah, it was nobody else around. So in case somebody pop up and say that happened, it was allegedly. But yeah, Vernon Maxwell, I loved him as a player, but yeah, he was a straight asshole. He was an asshole on that team that won back-to-back championships. That's when I was a Hakeem Olajuwon fan. That Hakeem shape, that dream shape was ridiculous. Couldn't nobody stop it. That's when they used to actually still run plays in basketball, and they actually did still have fundamentals, unlike now.
Uh oh. Here he go.
I
How
mean,
you?
hey, you want to bring up sports, man.
Here he
You
go.
know
I
how
mean,
I
you
feel
are the
about
sports guy
basketball.
though.
Yeah, you know how I feel about
He
basketball,
was
man.
about to go in.
I mean, that's why I watch WNBA because they still play with the fundamentals.
Ho,
I
you say
can,
WNBA plays with fundamentals?
yeah, because they not all
Compared
about
to the NBA,
compared to the
I
NBA,
know what
yeah,
you mean.
because they not just dunking the ball, dribbling for 20 seconds and get to the hole and miss the layup because they spent all their time dribbling and then you miss the fucking basket when they get to the hole. WNBA, you see pick and rolls, you
So
see
so
screens, you
so
see
so
actual
so has
defense.
the Washington basketball team hurt you? Cause you sound kind of
No,
bitter.
it's all bad because I miss old school basketball. You know I'm old school
Who's
to a
your
point.
who's your favorite player?
Back then in that time was I guess you gotta say Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon were two of my favorites.
So let me tell you
Okay.
something from the bottom of my heart about Michael Jordan.
What?
Fuck him.
Yeah, hey, he's an asshole. What can you do?
No, not because he's an asshole. Because I'm a New York
Oh,
Knicks
that's
fan.
right. I forgot. Yeah,
And he
football.
dug in our pockets 5 times and took 5 rings out of our pockets every fucking time. There is no worse feeling in the world of watching the NBA and your team is the Knicks and Michael Jordan plays y'all every year and sends you home to the couch bowl.
Every year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sucks.
Like you just wish this nigga would stub his big toe. Nigga get sick, he want to hit points. You know what I mean? Yo, it's just so disrespectful.
Yeah,
That's
And
like
then on
he
top of it
getting
off,
let up.
and then to top it off, he was born in New York. Fuck him and his kids and the horse he rode in on. That's how I feel from the bottom
I
of my
mean,
heart.
I feel you, man.
I love when he played for the Wizards.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, because I
Cause
remember.
he
Yeah,
ain't did
they
nothing.
used to. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. The New York Chicago Bulls series used to be brutal. John Starks, I know he probably still having
It wasn't brutal. We got sent home every year.
nightmares. So
Brutal for
yeah,
who? For him?
but I say I miss that old school basketball, man. You miss those series like that.
John
Now,
Starks was garbage.
yeah, but he was a tenacious. I use that word tenacious. He was one of those hustle guys. And
He was some shit.
when he got hot, he used to get hot. I remember that game.
You
I
know
think
what?
he had like seven threes
You
in
know
both
what? You know what
games.
his idea of getting hot was? It's like when you have a stove that works every now and then.
Yeah, exactly.
So like you hungry today, but the stove don't come on,
Yeah,
and then you was hungry yesterday, but it came on.
yeah,
Yeah, that was John Starks.
yeah.
So
You know he had mental. You know he had some mental
don't give
issues.
me all that bullshit.
I mean, hey, some of these players, they
A
ain't
lot
right
of people
mentally.
have
Mental
mental
issues. You
issues.
have mental issues,
Yeah, I
sir.
mean diagnosed. I'm
You
diagnosed. I know what I am, but like I said,
But no,
to
we have
balance the
people that
lifestyle,
were diagnosed and undiagnosed.
yeah, but to balance that lifestyle
no.
and be diagnosed with certain things, like I think he had like a slight form of schizophrenia or some
He had a
bullshit.
slight form of suckerphenia because he sucked like a motherfucker.
So yeah, so some of these players, like I talk about all
Patrick
the
Ewing
time.
didn't get a ring because of John Starks. Thank you.
Wow.
One of the greatest centers
Ever.
ever.
Well, I have
And he
to.
had one of the greatest chokers ever.
Well, he could have left New York.
I thought John Starks was an S
That
and
was
M because he
let's be
choked so
real. You
much.
saying he could have left New York? That wasn't a big thing back
It
then.
was the bad boys,
You
man.
stay with your team back then.
Yeah.
That's my point with Kevin Garnett, who was one of my absolute favorite basketball. If he would have left Minnesota a
Hmm.
few years early, he would have had more than one championship before. But being loyal can be a detriment to your career in any sport if you stay with the wrong team too long and then you miss your peak. And then
Right, but
he
that
go,
wasn't the mindset back then.
that wasn't the mind, but his free agency was still around. He was just
But wait,
loyal.
okay, wait a minute though, because Charles Barkley went to Phoenix
Mm.
and he still got Nathan.
Yeah, because he,
Hot dog niggas get Nathan.
yeah, some don't. He
Nathan.
kept going to the wrong teams. That happens.
No, because who did he run into in the finals? Michael Jordan once again.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Michael Jordan. Damn
Carl,
you, Mike.
Carl
He don't want it.
Malone.
He
He
should
won
have
the
joined
MVP that
Carl
year. They
Malone is
would have
saying,
won
well,
it.
he got
He
one with
should
the
have
Lakers
They'd
joined
have
already.
won
Jordan.
it that
No,
year
Karl
if
Malone didn't
Michael
get one with
Jordan
the
He
was
didn't
there.
get
Lakers.
one with the Lakers yet. So Carl
I was
Malone
glad
and
Karl Malone didn't get one with the
yeah,
Lakers.
him and
Fuck
John
him.
Stockton another,
Look at him. Did you
see, that's that New York, man. That's that New
right?
York. One minute is fuck Jordan, then it's fuck Malone too.
All up.
Yeah, fuck all up.
I got a list.
Everybody, all y'all.
All up. All
I got a
three.
list. I got
All
a list.
three of y'all.
All three of y'all. um,
All three of y'all.
did you ever get Taylor that doggy pocket pussy?
No, if I ain't getting one, he ain't getting one. Fuck
Well, why you ain't get one?
DJ Grip is over here
You don't do
looking.
it.
nothing but complain
It ain't
on
in the
this
budget. It ain't in the
show.
budget right now.
Wait,
You
wait,
don't do
wait,
nothing but complain on this show all the time.
wait,
You
wait,
can
wait.
complain.
We need to. Maybe we should get one of the pure romance ladies out here, and maybe she can hook you
Oh
up with a
shit.
free one.
So,
Look at face. Look at
so,
face.
so DJ Grip, they make because your face looks really what the fuck are we talking about?
Mhm.
So you know they make pocket pussies for men. They actually make pocket pussies for dogs now. Now they refuse to look at it when I send them the link
Yeah,
on air.
I'm sorry, I can't do it.
I like Taylor. Taylor done caught a body. You should he needs
But
pocket.
somebody, I'm not naming names, had an issue with it and said that they weren't going to get it because who gonna clean it up? I'm not naming no
Yeah,
names.
that's what
You ain't gonna wash it out for Taylor.
I wasn't naming no names.
hell no. That nigga on his own.
How is he on his own? How?
You ain't got no holes. Hold it open.
Hey,
How is he on his
we
own? How are you
cool.
supposed to clean it?
Hey, we cool with that. I feed him and I take him out to use the bathroom. That's all I gotta worry about.
You know what? You are very selfish.
We already knew that though.
Hey man, he be alright.
Hmm.
He be
Oh man. Yeah. CPT, you're bad. You're a bad individual.
alright.
Um. Okay. So I guess our guest should be calling in 10 minutes. So I guess I'll play some videos real quick. Uh. Anything we need to talk about before the guests call in?
We're gonna talk about that busted challenge.
Let's talk about the busted challenge.
Boy, oh boy.
Yes.
I've seen some nice ones.
Okay, but before that, have y'all did y'all see the crybaby challenge that kind of came out like right before?
Uh-uh.
No.
So the crybaby challenge, I noticed that now that the busted challenge is really getting like wider, you know, like it has a wider scope now.
Yeah,
But I see some of the people doing some of the moves from the crybaby challenge.
of course.
So yeah, but I did see Bob Saget and his wife doing it, and I
Oh.
was not happy. So I feel like the busted challenge is about to end.
Did you say Bob Saget did
Yes,
it?
I did. I did. I said that. So
America's Funniest
yes,
Home Video
but
Bob
you know,
Saget?
no, let me
Full
say something.
House?
Now you know Bob Saget. Have you ever seen his stand up?
He off
Nah.
the chain.
He's a
He off the chain.
filthy
Bruh.
mouth.
He off the
Yeah.
chain.
Has a
Yeah, bruh.
Get
You
the
filthy
ain't,
fuck out of
you
He off the
ain't
mouth.
chain.
never
here.
seen it?
He off
Oh,
the chain. He
bruh.
off the chain.
Bob Saget?
He off the
Bob
chain.
Bruh.
He off the
I
chain.
believe
Saget.
you ain't never watched his stand up,
He
bruh.
off the chain.
So I want to put that out there. So him doing something a little ratchet isn't really a big surprise, but the fact that it is Bob Saget and his wife, and she ain't really had no rhythm for real, I'm like stuff like that is gonna ruin
Did
this
that turn you
challenge.
on CP3?
Nah, you gotta have rhythm. I'm
What?
sorry. You ain't got no
Remember that's
rhythm. I
him in
can't
the
fuck with you.
rehab
Gonna throw
joint
my
in
straw
half
off.
baked. Remember that's him in the
Yeah.
rehab joint in half
So
baked.
here's the funny thing.
The suck dick for coke part. That's
Here's
him.
the funny thing about Half Baked. I've never seen it.
What?
I almost smacked him with a DVD when he told me
That's
that.
alright.
With the DVD?
With the
Mm.
DVD, like,
It's all
don't
right,
watch
Why?
baby.
this shit.
Why are you so violent, sir?
Because, man,
I
that's
And
a,
then,
just
wait a minute.
that's
You
an
just talked.
insult.
You out your mouth. You just said, "Oh, that's that New York shit right there."
Yeah.
And then you gonna talk about smacking me with a DVD?
that's Capital Heights.
That's that Capitol Heights shit right there.
That's that 1990. That's a disrespect to the 90s. You didn't never
I can
see
see
that.
you ain't stoned, so I get it. I get it.
Well,
You
I'm not
ain't
either,
stoned, so
but I
But she
seen.
synced it.
but
I seen.
I mean I can get it.
But I will say, Bob Saget, you kind of
Yeah,
So
she's
Yeah,
right.
you gotta watch
you need
Bob
to watch
Saget.
it.
I may have to watch that.
Yeah, bro.
So I would tell you this: some of the busted challenges have been good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They been.
Some of them
I,
have
this,
been.
this nigga had to wipe his lips like,
Oh yeah.
oh, LL Cool J ass
That
nigga.
sent me
Oh yeah.
a couple of videos. I was looking like,
I was like, watch this, watch
I was
this.
like, you know her?
No, I don't know these chicks, nigga. Watch that. But I didn't send you Bob Saget, did I?
Nah,
I should
no,
have. I
please,
should have sent.
Oh
No, I
man.
need to send it to you.
So
I mean, he's not doing it. His wife is doing it, and he's
So-
standing there with
so
her.
the funny thing is, I heard about this on the Breakfast Club.
Mm.
So the funny thing is, it's an artist song, but people think it's a Nelly song because it starts off with a Nelly sample,
Correct. It does.
and then they drop it down to the beat, and it's
And
a
it's
female.
busted.
Yeah, it's a female artist joint. And I think it may be one of the people who used to either work with either Carly B or Megan Thee Stallion or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hot. I mean, it's just creating a buzz, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I like shit like that. So,
Me too. I've seen some nice ones.
so
But it's Erica
Oh,
Banks is her name.
okay, that's her name.
Oh, the song with the hot in here sample.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So her name is Erica Banks, and yeah,
I
it's.
never really turned the music
I
on.
bet you just watched the
Yeah,
ass
I
drop,
watched the
don't
ass
you?
drop,
But and that's what I was saying. Like the Crybaby challenge is that Crybaby song that Megan has, and
Oh.
then right behind that, and Megan does a dance in it. So the dance that she was doing, and we've seen Megan like she's like kind of low twerking it,
Yeah.
I've
almost
never
on the
seen Megan
floor,
Thee
and so some people have incorporated that dance movement, that dance move into the
So,
Busted challenge
so
as well.
our co-host just said he's never seen
I've
Megan Thee
never seen
Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion.
She just looked at you with that nigga please look.
I don't really watch
Mhm.
mainstream.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't watch videos.
You,
I don't listen
I
to the
don't
radio.
either.
Yeah,
That's
so I've
that's
never
right. That's
seen
right.
it.
I look all this stuff. I don't either.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
But I still know.
I don't know who half these people y'all
You would
talking
thought.
So wait, you've never seen the WAP video? What?
Mm.
Who are you?
about. But niggas been working
You
on
could
it,
just
man.
put it on mute.
So.
You could just put it on mute and just like it.
Who are you? Have you heard the WAP song?
I think I may have heard
Oh
of it.
my goodness.
You know, it has
I
the
know his
sample
fans.
from Friday.
Which
No,
one?
from Players Club. There's some hoes in this house.
Oh,
That,
for
It's a
real?
Frank Ski record.
yeah.
Ah.
Frank Ski record.
But
Yeah.
why don't you know this stuff? Like of all things, I'm gonna be real with you. Of all things, I thought that you would be on this Megan especially the Megan Cardi collab for
Man, I'm not
Oh,
really.
they're
WAP.
called.
I'm not really a Cardi B fan.
What's going on? Thank you for calling at the bar.
Yeah, peace. I'm calling in for the radio interview.
Yes, yes. What's going on? You one of the members of the crew?
Yeah, yeah. What's going on, man? I'm waiting for everybody else to walk into the building. But yeah,
What's going on?
few of us.
5-1. We got Lady Antoinette, and we got
Hello.
CP3 in the building.
Yes, sir. What's going
Okay,
on?
peace, 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 peace. This is Range, representing for Range, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So got some of the cats from the production team that produced the record. About to walk into the building. I just wanted to establish that this was the right number and all that.
Okay. We live on the air. We was just talking about some different things. Could you tell us about the crew real quick?
Yeah. So what Crew is a production team based out of
Can you
Philly.
do me
Uh,
can you do me one favor?
what's that?
Could you speak up a little bit more? You very low. You got the deep voice thing going on.
Okay. Is this better? Can you hear me better?
Yeah, I hear you a little
It's a little
better.
better.
Okay. So Crew is a production team based out of Philly. There's roughly 7 of us, and we produce and we write and we curate and develop artists. And so that's our function. We've been together for about 2 years, and we have a couple of artists that are signed to the production team, and we're just trying to break dope artists and push the culture forward.
Cool, cool. So y'all a production team, right?
Yeah, we're a production
So
team.
did each of y'all do different things, or y'all like what
Yeah,
do you use?
each each of us do different things. There are producers, songwriters, artist developers, DJs, MCs, singers. It's kind of an all encompassing production team. So each of us have different backgrounds, and we all came together to kind of pool our resources and build artists up in the way that we need, in a way to push the industry and the culture forward.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Philly is a dope town. My artist Renegade has performed there. We got a lot of love there. I'm really cool with my man Gilly. Philly always shows us a lot of love when we go through. How would you describe the hip hop scene in Philly?
The hip hop scene in Philly is it's growing. It's pretty dope. It's a lot of really dope underground rappers. And of course you got people like Meek that's at the helm, that's doing things to push the culture forward. But all in all, it's a growing scene. We're coming out of 10 years ago was kind of like the neo soul age, and so since then it's kind of been kind of quiet in the Philly scene. So things are kind of ready to burst and move back in the direction of kind of putting us in the forefront of things. So that's
Okay,
where we at right now with it,
you got a
and we're trying to be part of that move.
I'm listening right now. I won't wait for everyone to come
okay, okay.
through.
So what do you exactly do? Are you a producer? You a rapper? You a singer?
So I do artist development as my primary function, and I rap and I sing on the Welcome to 2020 record. I actually had a verse for that. That's a project that we're curating for a project called Power to the People. That's just basically something that we're putting together as a production team to lift up the people, and we're featuring different artists that are in the tri-state area. Primarily Philly and New Jersey is our focus, but we've got some artists that are on the project that are out of the state of New York too. But
About to say,
yep, I sing, I
how you
rap.
gonna bypass New York, son?
Oh no, we definitely got some New York representing on the project.
Okay, okay. Cool, cool, cool. Um, so the video y'all got out, what inspired that?
2020, basically, you know what I mean, the year and all of the things that were going on this side of the year, and we wanted to kind of have a time capsule or a time stamp that just kind of spoke to all of the events that were going on in the year. So uh, my man Dilemma, who's also a crew member who just walked in the building. He produced the record, and it was one of the first songs that we had got finished for Power to the People project, and we just felt like we wanted to voice, we wanted to voice different things that were going on inside the city, and just kind of give the city and the world, and just kind of give our perspectives on our take on the year. So that's what inspired it. Was just basically everything that was going on in the year, and we curated three other guys to hop on the track, and everybody kind of did their thing on the track, and it's been well received.
Okay, okay. Um, so the record's called 2020. So
It's called Welcome to 2020.
welcome to 2020. So how do we welcome you to 2021?
Say it one more time.
How do we welcome you to 2021?
Man, it looks like 2021 is an extension of 2020 from the things that we see going on. The things that are dominating the headlines are still COVID, Trump, you know what I mean, police brutality, all of those things are still kind of dominating the headline going in. So it looks like, that 2021 so far it's just an extension of 2020, but we're looking for things to hopefully clear up and move in a more progressive direction. But I think 2020 kind of prepared us to let us know that everything isn't always sweet. So hopefully, even if the year isn't necessarily better, that we're better prepared for what the year has to bring.
Definitely.
Agree.
So who just walked in the building with you?
My man Dilemma is in the building.
Dilemma, let's talk. What's up? What's good?
What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? I'm just over here just listening to Range hold it down. How's everybody doing?
We doing good, man. Welcome
Happy
to
New Year.
our radio on 151. We got Lady Antoinette and the neighborhood thug CP3.
Yes, not every it's
We just,
What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, Miss Lady.
hello, how are you?
I'm amazing. I'm amazing.
That's a great answer.
I like that energy.
So how long you been doing
Yeah. How long have I been doing
hip hop
production?
production?
Hip hop.
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
man. For at least I want to say 11 years. My first placement was hip hop. I've worked with a lot of hip hop acts from Joe Button, Poster Boy to Meek to Black Thought
First of all,
to even newer.
I
I'm gonna need back.
Okay.
You well, y'all gonna stop with the humble shit. Like, come on, this time to toot your horn, bro. I've been working with Joe. Nah, I need some excitement with that, dog. Because everybody don't get to work with these people.
Right.
And it's okay
I
to be
mean,
a little
it's
cocky.
it's
It's okay to say I work with these people. Now, say it again, please,
Right.
with your chest out.
pull my chest out. Well, listen, it's your boy Dilemma. I've worked with some of the most talented rappers in the industry, from Joe Button, Black Thought, my homeboy Poster Boy, who kind of like started my whole thing, which is grooming me as a producer. Before then, I was just a beat maker. Um, and just, moving forward to today, working with artists like the Migos and Fabulous. Um, and yeah, and now we're here in this new chapter building crew. So we have a bunch of amazing acts that we're developing, from pop to hip hop, soul. Yeah, so we kind of do it all. So
That's what's up.
Range wanted me to mention my most recent placement, from a young lady from Philadelphia. You might know her. Her name is Jasmine Sullivan.
Okay.
I'm on her project Hotels. I did the track The Other Side. That just came out last week. But I've worked on with Jasmine before in the past on reality show, this new project, and we're really excited about it. So we're starting off 2021, and we're just coming out swinging. We're coming out swinging.
There we go.
Definitely. That's what I'm talking about. Like, and there's nothing wrong with being humble, but like sometimes when you put the work in, it's okay to pat yourself on the back.
Right.
A lot of times people come on the show, and they be like, oh, I don't like, dog, pat yourself on the back. Y'all are doing great shit. Like, on a real,
Absolutely.
your resume is
Absolutely.
very impressive, and you know you're making a movement,
Yep.
and I don't, you know, and I don't want to overlook that. I don't want people to
Right.
listen to this and because you say it quietly, they didn't pay attention to it. I want them to know like these dudes is
Absolutely.
for real.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, no, we don't. When we do have those, quiet times, those down times, and we think back of everything that we've done and where we started and where we are now, it is, humbling, but at the same time, it is something to pat yourself on the back. My role is to put my head down and work. So I like putting points on the board, but I'm also not the one that's going to check the stats at the end of the day.
And
As long as we win the game.
and I know because I've been there.
Right.
And I've interviewed a lot of good people. You know, um, I interviewed Chef Rock from Hell's Kitchen, season 3 winner. I've interviewed Gilly. I've interviewed
Gotcha.
a professional comedian, Skeeber Williams. Um, so I've interviewed some people. It's an accomplishment, and
Hmm.
sometimes when you you know, I know what it's like to put your head down and you just doing work. But sometimes we like to give you flowers right here and now too.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been a blessing. Don't get it twisted. I know that this journey and be able to wake up and do music for this long has been an amazing blessing, and I don't take anything for granted. And I understand how hard this thing is. Um, so yeah, I definitely appreciate it. You got to definitely have that balance. I'm not the mouthpiece of the team, so yeah, that's just my position.
I feel you.
I'm more like Kawhi Leonard on the situations, right? Just very quiet, but a silent 35 a night.
Mhm. Exactly. Like I saw the video. I like the message in the video.
Yes, I did.
Um, it's powerful. Especially in the age of
Yeah,
hip hop. Um, we don't really say that much.
Nope.
absolutely,
You
absolutely. No, it was a they did a great job. I mean, I did a small part with the beat, but the guys really painted the picture, um, and just putting everybody there to just show a different side, and just having a voice. Um, Range pretty much put that whole game plan together for the record, so it came out well, really well. Um, and I'm really really excited that everyone is receiving it really well.
Okay, CP3, you got any questions?
In this day and age of a lot of solo acts and folks wanting to do their own thing, and you got Pharrell and Timberland who does production and sometimes jumps on the track. What persuaded
Hmm.
you group y'all group to decide to make this movement and take it a step forward instead of going out on your own separate ventures?
That's the interview voice.
Hmm. That's a great question. I think what really did it was one of the members, Sean, Deshaun Penn. He pretty much came together and just had this idea of everyone just working together. Once we study the Pharrells, the Timberlands, the Diddy's, the organized noise, we understand that it was more of a system and a team structure of everyone working together to achieve that goal. It wasn't that one person.
You know what I like
So
what you said? You said you studied.
Mhm.
You know,
absolutely,
um,
absolutely.
I think that's a big element a lot of people miss.
Right.
Hmm.
But I'm
Hmm. Absolutely. I mean, you got to. If you're trying to be great, you got to study the greats. So after
again,
studying the greats, yeah, if you're trying to be great, you got to study the greats, and that's what we've done, and not just in music, just all over. Like we study Star Wars, we study Disney, Walt Disney, we study, of course, the L.A. Reeds and the Puff Daddies and all of that, and we just continue to see the same ingredients of everyone playing their position, everybody working together, and I think everyone on crew were successful at doing what they were doing in their own lane, and but at the same time we were all getting to the playoffs, but we weren't getting to the finals. And we've just decided to come together to get to the finals and bring the chip back.
that's what's up.
Mhm.
You got
Sweet,
anything?
sweet.
Yeah, I definitely have a question.
Okay.
So what do you think the downfall of this movement is? Like, what are some of the drawbacks that you guys have experienced while you're trying to push through?
I mean, there's when working with the team and multiple personalities, and you know, it's sometimes it's hard to get everyone on the same page, of course, and focus. And I think you just have to have patience in dealing with a lot of personalities. So we study, like I said, it goes back to studying. We study teams that have a lot of personalities. So what was big for us during the whole pandemic last year was The Last Dance. We all love basketball, so we all watched how Phil Jackson and the Bulls was able to, and Mike was able to just continue to win and balance the personalities from Rodman to Pippen to everything like that. So we can use those examples and apply it to what we're building. But that's always going to be a struggle in any team that you build and with multiple people. It's different personalities, different agendas. Not everybody's going to agree. Not everybody's going to totally see what you're building, but you have to leave space for people to grow into that. You can't push anybody. You can't pull anyone. You have to push them. So it's that balance in taking the ego out of it and just being patient throughout the process. That I think that for myself is probably one of the biggest lessons and the biggest struggles with it, because I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, 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 go. And you got to be patient for everyone else.
Dude, that's so dope that you said you studied The Last Dance. You know why? Because as much as I hate Michael Jordan, that was a damn good documentary. It was so
Oh yeah, it was great.
I hated watching it. It was so damn good,
It was
but,
great.
but but it shows you what you have to do to be great.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, if you really deep down dig into it and just the philosophy behind it, and yeah, if he can do it and they can do it on that stage, then of course we can do it as well.
That. You got anything else, CP3?
I said let's get into the video. Make sure everybody get back. This is an interesting group that I definitely want to dig deeper into.
Dude, you did. What happened to your interview voice?
Exactly. That's when it comes down to the questions.
So, any other members there right now?
Yeah, Sean walked in the door. We got Deshaun Penn in the building. If you want
We're gonna
to,
talk to Sean Penn, and then after we talk to Sean Penn, we're gonna play the video. Sean Penn,
sure.
what's good? What's up with you?
What's up, man?
What's going on? Dog, first
Great
of
to be
all,
here.
we just digging the vibe of your unit. The crew, like, I love their energy. I mean, I love the stuff that they saying. Like, we ain't got to play the video. We just sit back and just be, just off the stuff that we talking about makes me a
Mhm.
fan.
Right.
Uh, you know, um, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
All right. Well, a singer songwriter background. Um, coming off of being a finalist of making the band. This is several years ago now. It's around 2007.
Whoa. Let me stop you right there. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you like I just told the other gentleman.
Hmm.
Pat yourself on your back when you get these accomplishments. Don't just come just y'all just sound y'all killing me with the smooth shit. Oh, I was one of the finalists for me. Nah, nigga, toot your horn. This is the opportunity.
That's
This is
what's
what
up.
this podcast is
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. That was a great opportunity, great experience. Going through it. Um, I focused on what I was able to gain being there. You know what I mean? Like to be in that experience from the beginning all the way to the finale. Um, what I took from it, I had the opportunity of working with Diddy 5 years or so before that as a writer, just at the studio and just seeing that process. But then being part of making a band to artist development, basically university, working with B. Cox, Anchor, the vocal coach, and a mentor, um, Michael Bivins, Lorianne Gibson, um, uh, Jamaica Craft, multiple people that he brought in that were good influence. Joe, that experience, as well as the other guys who made it into the house, who were really, really talented. It just showed me the kind of teams and foresight that Diddy had to kind of help build the artist. So coming off of that experience, I was able to eventually build acts myself, make my own bands here in Philly. I helped assemble a male group called Imprint that went on to get signed to Motown.
Okay.
Then around and then around 2014, with a team that I assembled, we put together a group that had Division 4 called Good Girl that's now on RCA. And then I discovered Bree Steves, a solo artist. So they're all from Philly. So doing that work along with others, just having a vision for what different types of acts can be developed here, gave me a certain type of experience between that and the making the band experience. And then my own experiences as an artist, songwriter, just gave me kind of a blueprint for what I wanted to create. So when I came to the different guys and crew who I'd had the opportunity to work with in various capacities, whether it was coming in and helping with the sessions or artist development with Good Girl or Bree or those other acts, there's a company now called Triangle Park that's out in LA that originated here that I helped assemble a set of producers. And one of those main producers was Scott Carter. And so working along with him, we worked on the Good Girl situation. So a lot of these different guys who are in crew had come in at different points and contributed to that process, and saw it kind of from the outside, but also had an intimate vantage point on what we had done. So when I came to them saying, listen, let's officially and intentionally work together to produce a result, they were with it, fortunately. And then us reverse engineering what Motown had done, Organized Noise and others, they're able to see why I was saying that you need to be more intentional. Let's not live the king of the hill thought process, but, build up a mountain together.
So,
and that's what kind of brings us to the point we're at now.
one thing I really liked is that you talked about learning how to build a team. I think that's one of the most. You think about it is like this, and this is why I can really relate. When I first started doing at the bar, we bought it back, I was doing it by myself, and it was okay. Then
Yeah.
CP3 came along, and we started grilling and podcasting on Sundays, and it was fun. We was having a
Yeah.
blast. And then we added Lady Antoinette, and it just felt complete, and it felt right. And when you do
Yeah.
something, the right way, it does what it do. And you
Right.
can appreciate what you you going through. And but damn, like on some real shit, man. You've learned from Michael Bivins. You saw Diddy, like y'all done some
Yeah.
really. That's not average shit. And then y'all just really y'all some cool cats, because y'all just and I know y'all Philly cats are, but y'all real cool about it. But y'all done some above average stuff.
Right, right.
Even in the game of music, and y'all are just so
Yeah.
humble about it. How do you stay humble? And after you answer this question, you got anything, Lady Antoinette?
Um,
Because
after the video.
okay, after you answer this question, we're gonna go into the video, and then Lady Antoinette has a question for you.
Well,
So how do you
I mean, on
how do
my
y'all
side,
stay humble with all your accomplishments? That's what I'm saying.
it's really kind of understanding that um, the process requires everybody. You know what I mean? So it's like, no matter what you do, if you're not humble and understanding that your piece is just a piece of the thing, it's kind of like football. You know what I mean? If I go 80 yards, right,
Yeah.
and then the other team member doesn't get that last block, we get stopped, and we don't score. We don't score. You know what I'm saying? You don't get points for 80 yards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get points for going 100. So it doesn't matter how big you are. You know what I mean? Like, individually with your accolades or whatever, the system gets the win. You know what I mean? I appreciate the individuals. I appreciate what I can do, but the system is what creates the wins. When you're looking back on the Triangle offense, for example, it won 11 championships, not Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Six championships with the Bulls, 5 championships with the Lakers. So the system was the thing. When you look at the Spurs, they won 50 games or more, you know, for a long year of time. So, you know what I'm saying? It ended up with 5 championships. So it's just a system. You know what I mean? Like, we respect what each other can do. You know, I'm happy to have, you know, abilities that I have and try to keep improving. But at the end of the day, I'm all about it because it takes everybody, you know what I mean, buy-in for it to be special.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Good is the enemy of great. So it's like, to be great, it needs everybody. So that's what kind of helps kind of keep the
Well, I'm about to play y'all video.
Okay, bet.
Welcome to 2020. And then Lady Antoinette got some questions after the video, all right?
All right, bet. I'm heading over the range too. Hold on.
There are 2 major crises in this country tonight, okay? As I said, 2 deadly viruses killing Americans. COVID-19, racism 20.
Damn, why I'm writing this in 2020? Why you bumping this in 2020? Should be living life in 2020. Oh well, welcome to, look, on the run like a bad sentence, cause in America we dodging police and pandemics. I'm stressed out and lost count of black souls lifted. They wanna keep us 6 feet under, that social distance. Only feel my presence cause I'm gifted and I'm different, where's the loving? Strip us of our rights till we left with nothing. I can't, no my wife he can't survive, no my daughter gotta wonder why her daddy ain't alive. And the killer's still lurking, yet my uncle in his cell. Goddamn, is my skin tone really a threat? Could I really be next? Wish this black flesh came with a vest. Wish a safe space came with a home, thought that was standard. Right now I'm leaning heavy on God like Ned Flanders, cause I'm losing hope, trying to cope and can't hug my mama that just come with being black in America. Swear they never had our backs in America. Damn, why I'm writing this in 2020? Why you bumping this in 2020? Should be living life in 2020. Oh well, welcome to 2020.
Times on the ribs like sweet baby rays. The wrong way to live, still the streets they be plagued. With the badge and the gun out, having some fun. Now the eye holes cut in the sheets, gravy stain. Channeling my ancestors as they use the voodoo. Eating rhyming, you can hear the magic through the noodles. Mix the silk, the shaka, Khan and Shaka Zulu. It's common sense to know that stop and frisk can turn to stop and shoot you. Shit, my heart died when Trayvon stopped beating. Heard George Floyd, they minds not sleeping. And we all wanna act woke with arms on our damn throats. Just another black ghost gone screaming. We up in cages after arraignment, look at the pain we've been through. Breonna Taylor, we got the same, and look at the way they did you. This shit is racial, this ain't no fable, this is a fatal issue. DiCaprio's color snappy holes until Django hits you. I got so much time today, yeah. How my folks gon' find a way, yeah. How my folks gon' find a way,
Come on, officer, I'm sorry, officer.
living good won't die the same.
Welcome to 2020.
Freedom ain't free, my nigga, don't be deceived. Took Cap's pension for getting on bending knee. Took that same knee and put it on Floyd's neck. And I can't help but think that one of my boys next, yeah. Wasn't with the looters, but I bought it from the boosters. I don't know the shooters, but I know a couple shooters. Slide like a scooter, then slide to Bermuda. Bunch of homicides and hallelujahs. Look, I don't fuck with cats like Luca. I need 6 feet, that's crucial. And all these freak bands like Future, yeah. I wanna take this mask off and risk it, but I just lost my grandma to COVID, I'm livid, yeah. Can't sleep cause my nightmares is vivid. Crooked police and politician. Listen, feeling taunted as this strange fruit dangle. I know they want me cuffed to my ankle.
Damn, why I'm writing this in 2020? Why you bumping this in 2020? Should be living life in 2020. Oh well, welcome to 2020.
Yeah, welcome to 2020. Vision seen blurry. See the people scurry. We was in a hurry, rush, headed nowhere. Living life blind, just some things thought we'd never see in our lifetime. Shut it all down. Man, did it, pandemic. Damn, this ain't quarantine, warring things, rioting. Why can't we all get along? Here's an easy answer. The system made the whole country bleed, it's cancer. Racists used to run this shit. Go and tell Edgar Hoover been gone. Death to the go and tell, death to Sambo. Black Rambo was doing the truth like Sojourner. Duke the slow learners. They served y'all with curveballs, now it's time to break wrists. Shake up the industry, implement the facelift. My president was black, can't even claim this dude. I'm red, black, and green as much as red, white, and blue. Word to crow.
got so much time today. Yeah. How my folks gon' find a way? Yeah. How my folks gon' find a way? Yeah. Living good won't die the same.
Yo, so welcome to 2020. That was a joint. That was
Yes,
by the
indeed.
crew. I like that joint. I like that joint. I like
Yes,
that joint.
indeed.
Word. Glad you like it.
Yo, I like how y'all put in work. I like the different styles, just the vibe, and and it was a good recap of what we all went through this year, last year.
It feels like this shit.
Feels like this year because it was only 2 weeks ago.
2020 it started.
Mhm.
21 started out kind of crazy too.
Yeah, that's what I was
um,
saying.
First of all, CP3, what starts out crazy is that your voice changes 6 different times in one show.
It depends on how many drinks I have.
You only had one.
Well, one and a half. You know.
Okay.
He good enough. He trying to blame me
No,
Yeah.
I put some
ahead of
cut. No, I
time.
put some cut in
Uh,
this time though.
is any of the other members in the building besides y'all?
um, there's another one of us that's roaming around here,
Okay.
somewhere.
He can wait one
Chris
second
is
because
around. He's
the
not.
internet has a question for you.
Well,
Okay.
so I heard the song maybe a week or two ago.
About 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
about 2 weeks ago, and I loved it. I'm going to admit, it gave me
A good vibe.
the old school
Yes.
hip hop vibe, and
Right.
I love that and appreciate that. With that said, what do you say to those who are, saying hip hop is dead? And do you even like the direction that hip hop as a whole has gone into?
Ooh, we getting deep.
Yeah, I was.
Well, I mean, the first thing I would say to that is that hip hop could never really die because hip hop is basically our culture. So as long as we're alive, then hip hop is always going to be alive. It's going to evolve and change as we evolve and change. So when it comes to as far as the direction that hip hop as a whole is taken, you can answer that a bunch of different ways because it's moved in a bunch of different ways. You can look at what the machine kind of mainstream pushes, but then you can just kind of look at hip hop as a whole. You can find all sorts of versions of hip hop if you're looking for all sorts of versions of hip hop. What's commercialized is always going to be a thing, right? And that's in any genre. If you look at rock or you look at R&B. The classic rock heads will say, that what the mainstream pushes isn't the essence of what real rock is. Hip hop kind of does the same thing. There's what can be commercialized, and then there's what should be internalized. And as far as the things that should be internalized, hip hop is alive and well. So we're just trying to do our part to make sure that that scene, when we're putting our artists and we're putting music into the airways, we want to represent the things that are going to push the culture forward.
Yeah, that's what's up. CP3 got something.
one of the
Or
one of the things that most of you have said is pushing the movement forward, and I'm kind of going to piggyback on to what Lady Antoinette said because I'm one of those folks that think true hip hop isn't alive anymore. That you have all of this mumble rap and this catchy tune stuff and these dances that's more important than the lyrics of the song. And it is refreshing to hear some of you guys' music because I didn't hear it until like I said 2 weeks ago checking out the video. So it is good to see that there are still some lyrical folks out there that's trying to move the hip hop culture forward because I feel like most of his music is taking it backwards. But what is it that fuels you guys to to think the direction that you can with your message because we know how hard it is for a positive message to get out there. What makes you guys think that you have that force that can get more of a message out there to a wider audience and maybe get folks actually listening to you?
well, we're going to approach hip hop from all sorts of different angles because we also have younger artists that cater to the current wave. So I think a variety is always the way to get your message across. There's
Say
the older hip hop
CP3,
generation that's
please. A
say
variety.
it again.
It's variety is
No,
cool.
but because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but the thing is like this. The one thing about hip hop is this, and growing up. I had to understand, and Will Smith I think said this. Hip hop is all these different cultures mixed into one. So
Right.
you had the first time when an R&B song when Jody Watley did the song with Eric B. and Rakim for Friends. That was like one of the very first mixtures of R&B and hip hop. But then you had
Right.
also your Heavy D, the New Jack Swing. That's also hip hop.
Right.
Redhead Kingpin. I didn't like Redhead Kingpin. Pumpin' Hottie sucked. My DJ who's sitting up there, he loved playing Pumpin' Hottie because it made people dance at the party. But it came to me as I got older. That's part of hip hop. You know,
Right.
here's here's the problem. We started letting people label our music as such. When they started saying, "Oh, that's trap rap," nah, nigga, it's just hip hop. It may not be what you like, but it's
Right.
still hip
Right.
hop. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Just because
I'm
just
not.
because just because you prefer blondes and shorty's a redhead don't does not make her not a female. It just makes her something that you
Right.
prefer.
They touching on something. The crew don't know what you touching on.
I mean,
You
like I
trying to
said,
start a war
We ain't gonna
here.
start it. We ain't gonna start because it's
Y'all
their
need to
interview.
come from Philly and save me. They about to start a war.
nah. I mean, I
I
definitely feel
got
what you're saying. It's still hip hop.
yeah.
I'm just,
So
I don't like I said, it's their interview. I don't want to
yeah,
get on
yeah.
my,
We'll get in that
yeah,
later.
I don't want to get on my
So
soapbox.
I gotta know what's the
Well,
best cheesesteak
I
place in Philly right now.
what's the best cheesesteak place in Philly?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a pop store. It's gonna be on the corner. The
Okay.
the best the best cheesesteak
I
spots
need the
is
prices.
gonna be in the neighborhoods on the corner. The commercial spots, just like how we talking about hip hop, right? Like the commercial spots is never gonna be the best spots. It's always gonna be in the neighborhood. So my favorite cheesesteak comes from 20th and Federal. little poppy store on the corner. 20th and Federal is where my best cheesesteaks are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna have to look that. Nigga, I'd be pressed for a
We
Philly.
gonna take a whole field
Like
trip.
we about to take a
Why
field
don't you just
trip.
go up to Pagano's?
They said
Yeah, but
we about to bring a camera and
Why don't you just
everything.
come up to Pagano's?
I had wanted to touch on something that I heard somebody say talking about the breakdowns. Like I personally don't mind breakdowns within hip hop because hip hop it's a growing genre. So I wouldn't want to classify Lil Uzi with Kendrick or with Royce the 5'9". It's like it's all hip hop, but it's different versions. You know what I mean? And so even with what we're doing and curating inside of Crew, even on the Power to the People project, what we wanted to do was treat the project like a soundtrack and just have different interpretations of African American music. So we're gonna have some things that sound a little bit more like trap on the project. We're gonna have some things that sound like classic rap on the project. We're gonna have some R&B on the project. We're gonna have some reggae. We're gonna have some dubstep, different vibes on the project because it all represents
Cause you're going
who
through
we are.
all forms. Yo, I'm
Yeah, it represents who we are. All of that's who we are, and that's us as a hip hop generation. Hip hop is growing up. So the producers and the producers on our team are a variant of ages from about upper 40s to lower 30s. So we're covering a wide span and of influences and even different geographical areas inside of all of us in Crew. So we want to definitely represent the variety that comes in black music, and we want to be able to put that out in excellent format and in a way that we can be proud of, and in a way that the generation before us can be proud of, and in a way that gives the generation behind us a light so that they can see how we pushing culture.
The funny thing about Philly is Philly is so diverse. Like like real talk with people because I'm old as shit. So I'm 46. So I remember when for real when hip hop was in its prime. And not that this not taking away anything from hip hop now, but when they were doing like the DJ competitions and stuff like that, like couldn't nobody touch Jazzy Jeff. Philly, a Philly DJ held it down um, for shit like almost a 20-year cycle. Um,
Yeah,
and for real, a lot of people. There's a lot of I got a lot of love for Philly, but a lot of niggas don't be talking about 3 Time Dope, and a lot of niggas done use the funky dividends beat over and over again, over again.
yeah, definitely a classic. Definitely a
I
classic.
know.
Yeah, I do too.
But I'm just saying, a lot of people, yeah,
They
EST,
and they
ES,
sampled that. You know,
E-
and they
ES,
sampled
exactly. EST was my nigga for like he's one of the dudes outside of he's like one of the very few people besides Rakim and Big Daddy Kane and Bobby Karras One that was spitting some shit that made me think.
that part.
Right.
See, then like Nicholas One, the greatest man, yo, Steady B, you know, he'll top hustlers too, Steady B.
And Tap Money is on Rock the Bell Radio,
Yeah.
still getting down, still
So,
getting down.
hip
Yeah,
hop in Philly is so
Philly
diverse,
DJs.
and I don't think Philly gets enough credit for their contribution, you know, in hip hop. To be honest with you, you know,
Right.
and I love that the crew is like when you talk about yeah we doing this, but we also have trap music, we also have this because it's so yo for every Gilly the Kid there's a Uzi verse, you know there's
Right.
so much and there's a Terror Whack like it was
Right.
crazy. We did a show in Philly and it was a young girl that was really dope, and then years later she comes out and my man goes yo you know that was Terror Whack back then. What?
Yeah. 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 Definitely. Respect to
We did
Tierra Whack.
a
Definitely
show.
doing a
She
thing
was
right
that
now.
dope. Yes, you know, and I love that about Philly. And you know, to see her on a commercial about about the iPhone speaker or whatever, I thought
Uh huh.
dope. Like, yo, that's fucking Philly. Like,
Right.
dog. I love walking down South Street. It's yo
Word.
shit. I love just walking out. I can walk down South Street every day and just you know just vibing. I love the fact that everybody got P hats on. Like like yo, they rap hard as shit.
Yeah. Well, Philly is kind of an underdog. It's kind of an underdog feeling city. So, Philly embraces its own. It's always kind of been looked at kind of as a little brother to New York. So Philly wants to show off and show and prove and show that it can do, everything that can happen, in other cities. And we want to build that. We want to build that stigma and put that stigma behind, back behind Philly music scene here in Crew. So, we're here for the culture. We're here to unite. Everybody that's got a vision that's trying to be progressive. So we're trying to be progressive and we're trying to do things progressively for the city.
Definitely.
And,
And honestly, I love
yeah.
the city. Yo, real talk. Many niggas go with the music. Like the fucking parks in the museum and stuff. Like dog, running up the steps, the rocky steps was like. Well, hold on, let me rephrase that. I had Renegade run up the rocky steps, and I took pictures at the bottom to make us. Yeah, nigga, I ain't got that type of energy no more. The way my liver is set up and and my asthma is set up, I ain't built for that shit.
Not my liver.
I was thinking about it. Me too.
Not my liver.
Sometimes I went to Philly. I never went there.
But taking pictures in front of the Rocky statue. Yo, dog, they got some Shakespeare in the Park statues, like some Shakespeare statues. That's really dope. Like the vibe in Philly is just so it's indescribable.
I always had a good time when I went to Philly. So
Yes.
definitely went to.
Yeah, Philly is it's a dope place, man. It's a dope city. I actually came here from Virginia in 2010, so
But
I've been here for about.
Virginia.
I'm from Roanoke, Virginia.
Okay.
Roanoke.
Yeah,
Shout
so I got here in
shout out to my black
2010.
man and my homegirl Alexis who set this interview up.
Yeah. Shout out to Alexis. That's why we here. So that's so I've been up here for the past 10, almost 11 years, and Sean is from Delaware. He came here. What you coming around 2000? Sean around 2000?
Okay.
98. So Sean's been here. Dilemma's an implant from Willingboro, New Jersey, and then my man Chris, who walked in the room, he's born and raised. Mr. Chris Cargo, producer. So four of us are in the building right here,
Huh?
checking you guys out.
I love that. I love that. I love that. So who just walked in the building?
Chris just walked in the building.
Oh,
Chris
oh,
Cargo, another producer,
we about to get on Chris.
producer, engineer, songwriter, curator.
We need to talk to Chris. We love talking to y'all. Like, dog, honestly, this might be one of my favorite interviews that I've done in a long time because
Word.
I just love y'all energy. And I love talking about cheesesteak. Yeah, we might have to make a run. Yo, whoa. A run to Philly. I'm not the dog. The way my liver and my asthma and my drinking is set up.
steps.
Man, I can't.
Balance it
You
out.
know
You
how
gotta
many
balance
times I
it.
done went to Philly and grabbed a cheesesteak?
Well, I can't let y'all talk about Rocky without talking about Joe Frazier because Philly really had a real life champion.
That's
You know what I mean? Joe Frazier was a real life heavyweight champion. You know what I mean? So you got to shout him out if we're gonna talk about
shout
Rocky.
out to Joe. Yo, definitely shout out. It's so much rich culture. Yo, there's a they have like the like an aviation museum. That's some dope shit in Philly though. You know, and I just love going there. But you're right. We definitely cannot shout out. We definitely cannot talk about Philly without talking about Joe Frazier. Man, damn, I love this shit. Um, but now
You know,
we got
for the culture, man. You know, we try to do it all for the culture. You know what I mean?
the thing about it is though, when we talk Joe Frazier, cheesesteaks and all, and music, it's all part of hip hop, dog.
Right, 100%,
Part of the culture. That's the beautiful
hundred
thing.
percent.
No, we could be talking about people rocking the P hats, the pirate
Right,
hat, all that.
right.
Like, dog, it's all part of the culture.
The Phillies hat.
Yes.
Pirates in Pittsburgh. It's the Phillies.
I'm sorry, the Philly hat. Yes.
You good?
You know. So I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, let's put the other gentleman on. We got some questions for him. Let's make it.
What's up, Chris? He pouring a drink right now. He'll be over in a second.
He's
Oh,
at the bar.
he's at the bar. No, for real talk. So in 2021, this is the one that we're gonna be doing different. Is that we are going to be doing live concert series at the bar. So anytime y'all want to drive down here and have a couple of drinks with us and then perform, just let us know. We're gonna do a virtual concert series starting up pretty soon.
That's dope. That's dope. What's going on? This
But
is
you
Car.
gotta bring a cheesesteak at least for you gotta bring 3 cheesesteaks.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yo, this cargo talking.
All right. So
What's going on? How y'all doing?
let's talk to Chris. What's going on, sir?
Nothing much. Nothing much. How y'all feeling today?
We doing
Tonight.
Pretty good.
okay. Before I was about to ask you to tell me about yourself, but y'all some cool motherfuckers. Take the cool voice off. Like you gotta speak up
This is my normal
so I
voice.
can hear you out here, and the audience can hear you. Cause y'all all cool
I got a bunch of voices that I could pull from. This the regular one.
okay. So tell us about yourself, sir.
Oh man, nothing interesting about me. I make music. I cut hair. I've been doing music since I was 13.
Okay.
I'm uh, I'm 32 now, so I'm the youngest one out of the group. Yeah, I'm the baby out of the group at 32. But started out a guitar player. Actually started out doing rock music.
Ho.
Played in a rock.
See, y'all gonna stop going over these little facts like y'all. Did you say you play the guitar?
Yeah, I'm a guitar player.
And you started out doing
Uh,
rock.
yeah, I started out
See, they be
with a
trying to
group
go
of
over this
friends.
little stuff like we don't be catching. Those are some accomplishments on some real. One,
Yeah.
I couldn't hold a note in the backpack, so the fact that you play the guitar, that's dope to me.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. So I was self taught, so it took me a long time to get good at it. But the only outlet I had at the time that did music was some of the kids that I was around did music, but they were all rock. So I grew up listening to spitters. I grew up listening to Jay Z, to Lupe, to Kanye. But the only thing I could play was rock music because that's what the kids I was around played.
So, can,
Um,
can I
so
interject
I
real
would
quick?
rap. Yeah, yeah. What's
So
up?
let's talk some truth. So because I'm an old nigga, as I said before,
Mhm.
I'm like 46. So when we talk rock music, rock music has been into hip hop for a very long time.
Mhm.
Run DMC walk this way. The Beastie Boys was a
Absolutely.
whole rock and hip hop collaboration back in the days.
Yep.
Um,
Shout out Rick
you
Rubin.
know, and I'm old, so I will tell you this: I grew up listening to Fishbone. I grew up listening to A Living Color. Fuck that! I grew up because of Walk This Way. I knew who Aerosmith was. If it wasn't for Walk This Way,
Mhm.
I wouldn't know. Like the early Run DMC shit is all really hip hop over rock beats.
No, absolutely.
So I
Absolutely.
appreciate the fact that your background it is what it is because it comes from a similar background. Like dog, I remember watching Guns N' Roses. Fuck it. I mean,
Mhm.
like
It.
dog. People don't realize that Slash from Guns N' Roses played Black Cat, played the guitar on Black Cat for Janet Jackson. Like it's
Yep.
been part of our culture. We don't talk about it that much. We be like, we don't want the white
So.
people to know that we know that how good rock music is, and that they stole it from us. But
So you saying a lot of stuff that resonates with me because when I started out doing the band thing, my group wanted to do Linkin Park records, and I was telling them Linkin Park was basically the shadow of groups like Run DMC and Beastie Boys. I'm like, man, combining rock and hip hop is what Linkin Park does, and that's where they got it from. So um, they started doing that stuff, and while they were studying Linkin Park, I was actually studying Slash. Um,
Slash has been
Cause Slash was
so many records. People don't realize that Slash, as much as a hard rock icon he is, he's played on a lot of black records. Like real talk.
oh, he has. He has. He's one of the most iconic guitar players, especially in our community. There's not a whole lot of guitar players that the urban community knows. We know Slash with his top hats on. And one of the reasons I studied him because he was self-taught too. So that meant a lot to me.
Oh,
Kind of trying to figure it out as like a 13, 14-year-old kid, trying to figure out how to play guitar, watching somebody else that was self-taught. But what happened with me doing the band thing is that all they did was cover music, and I was the only person in the group that hated covering music. So I kind of wanted to do my own thing. So I started composing songs for the band. And by the time they wanted to do original music, I was the only person in the band that could make an original song. And that's kind of how I got into engineering and production. So at like 15, I started doing the production thing, making beats, and shortly after that, I started engineering all the stuff for the band. And that's kind of just that's how I got into that world. I never really wanted to. I was always in love with being on the stage, and then eventually I fell in love with being behind the scenes.
ain't
It is, man.
that stage.
It was weird because
I always tell people like for real, I've never smoked weed, anything like that, but the best high I've ever had was when I performed on stage.
they gonna say yeah, making fun of
Yeah, they.
my underwear. So so um, I didn't grow up in a household that was very supportive of my music at all. So I ended up getting kicked out of my house at 15. Um, so no, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. No, I'm doing amazing. I'm doing better than my family now. I'm good, but fortunately for me, I was still pursuing the music, but I was also cutting hair. So I'm a barber as well. So um,
How much you charge for
I
shave?
I
I'm
ended up
rough right now.
you look kind of rough, right? It's pandemic, man. Everybody looking rough. I'd be happy to take care of you though. But so what happened was when I got kicked out, I was kind of on my own, just trying to figure out how to make life work. So I end up uh I end up renting a room in Nicetown and cutting hair to pay for it. And I'm in like at the time I'm in the 10th grade, so um
Oh, so
just doing all of this, but it kept.
you said 10th grade?
Would you say? Yeah, 10th grade. So what happened was I was able to stay off the streets because I could cut hair, and I was pretty good at it. And I was an art major, so I kind of excelled in everything when it came to art. So I ended up getting a full ride to Temple Tyler, um, their art school based off of my art. But what happened was I never had to go on the streets. I never had to sell drugs. I never had to do nothing crazy. I was actually just cool with all the people that did because they all wanted me to cut their hair. So um, because of that, though, I was able to pursue my music because I didn't have to work for anybody. I just had my own schedule. I was still doing my music. Ended up getting my first studio I got at 23. Um, I got a 12,000 square foot building. I was able to. I started a label that ended up failing. I learned a lot in the process. Um,
Well,
and
stop.
uh huh.
Here's the thing, and I love about your mentality, but when we say words like "I end up failing," people think it's a bad thing. Learning what not to do is so most important. It's even more important to learn what to do. So,
Absolutely.
but a lot of people miss that. So I just wanted to touch
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
that because He has a great story. Like shit, we could do a whole another hour just on
No,
his story alone.
the failure was super important because that situation I endured that situation for 5 years. I ended up meeting up with my partner Deshaun and Range the same day at an open mic that was down the street from my studio. And this is right as I was ending disbanding the label and kind of hitting a reset button. I met them, and then like 4 years later we formed Crew. I guess like 3 or 4 years later, we ended up forming the label that we have now. But all my experiences there kind of helped us it helped me play the position that I have to play for the company now. And now I got a good team. I'm able to take my talents here, and now we're able to lock in and do projects like the Power to the People project and kind of be more efficient in our movement. But that's after years of mistakes, years of learning lessons, and a lot of growing.
That's but a lot of
So,
people think success is easy and it's not. A lot of people think success come overnight and it's not. Like you gotta put some work in.
Right.
nah.
Lady Antoinette, you got some questions for him,
I
for
mean,
Mr.
he
Chris.
has such a wonderful
The story,
story.
that's just deep, right?
But I'm going to, kind of go into the rock portion of it. Do you
hmm
your experiences going from rock to hip hop? I mean, did you have people that kind of felt like, oh, well, he in a rock band, he ain't nothing as far as hip hop is concerned. Did you kind of get that where people were, prejudging you because of your
it wasn't. It was never a prejudging thing. So I left out some parts of my story. So fortunately for me, I in my journey I got some really good mentorship. Um, One of my mentors is my big brother Kosha. He's No ID production partner. He came up with Kanye in the Chicago crowd, and he ended up introducing me to
No
KG.
other good shit. Like it's just no. Oh yeah, my mentor was with no ID. Dog.
Listen, because none of that stuff matter. Don't put money in your pocket. It's experiences though, so I appreciate it. But what ended up happening with Kosha is he put me around KG from Naughty, and I ended up working with KG, Tretch, and Vinny for a little bit, and learned a lot from them. So right before that, I had messed up some opportunities because I told you like I play guitar, but I came up in North Philly, in Germantown, so I'm the guitar player in that group, and I rapped. So what I would do, I never took rap serious, but I would when I was working in a barbershop, I'd always have my guitar on me. But to legitimize me playing guitar, because they look at you like you're a weirdo, I would rap when I play guitar.
right?
Oh
So
shit.
um, I end up getting I ended up getting a guy named Molly Manson. He approached me at the time. I think I was 17. He approached me, and I'm this little skinny light skinned kid that rap and play guitar. He was just like, "Yo, I'm a writer. We should do an EP together." And I'm like, "Nah, bro, I don't want to be an artist because at this time I just wanted to be a producer and play guitar." And he was just like, "Yo, you crazy? You should do it. Come out to Cali with me. Let's put together an EP." Now I knew he wrote for Aftermath, but I didn't really pay it any mind. So he ended up calling me on the phone one day. Yeah, he three-wayed me with another guy on the phone, and they're trying to convince me to go out to Cali. Um, and he had me rap on the phone, and then I just spit like a 16 for him. And then he was just like, "Yo, come out Cali." The other dude I was on the phone was like, "Yo, you gotta come out of Cali. Let's put together a little project." And I turned both of them down on the phone. I'm like, "Nah, man, that's not really what I'm trying to do. That's not my path." And I get a phone call like an hour later from the guy Molly Manson. He was like, "Yo, you an idiot. Why would you do that?" I'm like, "Man, I told you. I've been telling you for a year I'm not trying to be a rapper." And he was just like, "You know who there was on the phone?" I was like, "Nah." He was like, "Nigga, that was Dr. Dre." I was like, "Oh,
Nigga.
you gotta be kidding me, bro. You gotta tell me that first." So, but after that, um, I had kind of made. I figured if I was gonna do the production thing and turn down opportunities like that, I had to get really, really, really good at production. So shortly after that's when I got connected with KG, when I got connected to my big bro Kosha, and I never really ran into the you play guitar or you do rock guitar thing So you're not good at hip hop because of the people I was around. It was just like, man, I got KG asked me to put guitar on records. I'm producing, like I'm just new at this, and I'm producing records for Jaheim. I'm in the studio, like, so it was different. And at the same time, I'm still in the hood cutting hair. I still got all these little young boys that rap kind of looking up to me, um, and I could kind of rap better than a lot of them. And I don't even consider myself a rapper, and I was out rapping niggas that were like the young boys was really rappers. So I never really ran into that issue um, as a guitar player.
Damn. CP3, you got a question?
I'm just absorbing this story,
Yo,
man.
you know the funny thing is, I love people that tell some great stories, and all you can do is just listen.
Yeah, I'm just absorbing the stories that that's amazing. What
Like
you've
all
been.
the others had great shit to say.
You
Yeah,
got CP3 speechless
yeah.
almost.
Or are you drunk?
A little bit of both. But I mean, just your story and what you've come through, and you come to the top and shining in the process. It's heartwarming, not to sound like a non-thug, but that this shit right here is beautiful. Like you said,
Oh man,
once
you got gunman number two emotional
yeah,
with this
I had to put the gun down, take the silencer off, dog. After I hearing some of these stories, like I'm starting to reevaluate my life right now. Like, what am I doing
Oh man,
with my life?
it's funny. We all got a story, man. I'm gonna be real. Like I'm very very fortunate because I got it's a lot of my little homies have similar situations and didn't come out on top. So like I'm kind of mentoring a lot of these kids as I cut their hair. I done watched them come up. Some of them are locked up now. Some of them I've been able to help get out of that situation because I was homeless for a while, and I'm just like, man, like I know the struggle.
bitch. Man,
I went from being a young boy that was homeless with no family and friends to help out to I got a $1 million crib and $300,000 cars. Like, and I still am at the beginning of my journey, and I'm telling these little kids like, yo, like
hold on. You
I'm here to help you because I had people
again,
that was here to help
slow your roll,
me.
slow your roll. Y'all be glancing over some good shit. Like you went from being homeless to what now?
I'm all right. I'm doing all right now. That's all.
Being
I'm
humble.
doing all right now. I don't.
Weird.
I try my hardest. The only time I'll ever mention the stuff I accomplished is because I want to motivate somebody. Like
Well,
this stuff not a flex for me.
when I
Like
try to brag, sometimes it's not to be braggadocious. It's just to let like people know that when you do hard work, it's a way. A lot of people
yeah,
do stuff and they don't feel fulfilled because they don't think it's a way. Like success comes
mm,
in many different forms, and people don't know every form of what success comes into. And a lot of
that's a fact.
people would be on the cusp of success and just quit. The fact that dog, the fact that at 15 you didn't have people that believed in you, you were homeless, and you still continue to grind, and it's breathtaking.
Yeah.
So,
Listen. It was a lot of it was I'm extremely competitive as a person. That's kind of my nature. So like I've never been okay with people being better than me and stuff. I've never been okay with people doubting me. Um, and my mindset with everything is level up, level up. If I'm not good enough at it, I'm gonna do the work till I'm better than everybody else. So, but I was like that as a kid. That's why I excelled in art. Like I wasn't. I was never a. I was never. I was always a smart kid. I was always into science. Um, I hated math. I hated a lot of the a lot of the classes in school. I really just wasn't fans of. I used to pass certain classes because I'd get a test, and instead of doing the test, I would draw. I would do a portrait of my picture on the back of the test and give the teacher the picture. And a lot of times the teacher was so impressed they would just pass me on the test. And what ended up happening for me was I had some art teachers that kind of doubted me. I didn't really believe in them. I believed in myself. So I ended up taking the test. I took a couple AP college tests, a couple uh, college board exams, and governor school tests. I got accepted to governor school
Oh wow.
in the 11th grade, and I got accepted to I got this full ride scholarship to Temple Tyler, um, all based off my art. I had pretty terrible grades. Like it was crazy because I was always smart, but I was one of them kids that just didn't want to do his homework. I never wanted to do homework. I didn't care about it.
Are you showing three?
Because I already knew what I wanted out of my life. I didn't even want, and it's wild. I didn't even want to be an artist. I wanted to do music. I was just good at art. So, I ended up kind of outshining a lot of the other kids on the art side. I got a perfect scores on my AP college courses for my art, and that's kind of what led me in the college thing. I did the college thing for a year, figured out this ain't what I want to do either, and then I ended up dedicating a lot of my time to, or like all of my time to, the music thing. But a lot of that competitive nature, if I give my parents anything, is because they doubted me. Like I said, they weren't very supportive of my music. So the reason I got kicked out was my parents were extremely religious, so very, very religious household. And I remember I got into an argument with my dad one time. He asked me would I love more, music or God? And I thought about it. I didn't even. It was like 3 seconds went by, and I guess that was his answer. And he threw my guitar out the window. Yeah. So after that, our relationship was kind of never the same. We butt heads all the time, and I think like 2-3 months later, I was actually cutting hair at the time. I got a phone call. He was just like, "Man, get all your stuff out the house by 6 o'clock, or I'm throwing it out." I thought he was joking. He wasn't joking. So I ended up, I got out of school. I was cutting hair in school. That's how wild it was. So I got out of school. My uncle took me past the house. I got what I could fit in my uncle's little car, and that was the last time I ever been in my parents' house.
Damn.
But that was a fire. That's why I can't get mad about it. I'm not mad at them. I had anger for a while because I don't have a relationship with my little sister as a result. But I was angry for a long time until things started working for me. I started focusing on being positive and kind of manifesting the life that I wanted. And fast forward, I ain't been at my parents' house for 17 years now, and at 32 years old, I've accomplished a lot more than anybody else in my family.
First, at 32 years old,
doing music.
A lot more than anybody. Period.
Well, I appreciate that.
This dog, for what you've been through and what you've accomplished is amazing. And
Thank you.
I'm all about, like I said, I'm all about giving people their roses while they're here. I'm gonna tell you right now, your struggle, your growth, I fucks with. Like listening. First of all, you got me silent for a long time. You captivated me with something that 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 I'm hearing, and then not only me, you had my co-hostess. Both my co-hosts silent. They was just listening like I was listening. Like it's amazing, and it's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Waiting for that book.
Hell yes.
But this I'm gonna do all of that, and I'm gonna talk about my story in a musical format. I'm over here working on some stuff now. I finally decided after this many years to actually put out some music, and that's my whole narrative as an artist, is abandonment and kind of overcoming abandonment.
The funny thing about this is, like, I knew from Philly, y'all was some talented cats, right? And when we played the song, we was all vibing to it. But to hear everybody's story is such a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, ain't that what hip hop is?
Yes.
Again, we all got stories. It's about telling your story.
And
hope.
I loved everybody's story. Is anybody else in there with y'all?
Yeah, we got my man Sean and my man Dilemma here.
See, I wasn't
going
to cut y'all off, but now they got today's stories too. I don't know if they're gonna be able to top the last one.
Who you want to hear from, Sean or Dilemma? They want to hear y'all story too.
I'll tell you what we gonna do.
Yes, up?
Because I drink a lot of alcohol and I need a bathroom break. I'm about to play a video. After the video, then we're gonna come back and we'll talk to them, okay?
All right, bet.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm vegan.
I don't make the trick, so you know we about to
Upgraded my new bitch, my old bitch, I know it's since progression. Lace my neck, upgrade my check. Bought a new wrist progression, new flex. All designers, slick and shrimp at Benny Honors. Line up commas, drop a bag on your mama. Progression in the store. If I like, swipe, progression. Ball stuff, teach you a lesson. Take a chance, see my progression. Put my foot on little peasants. See no hate, got hate repelling. I got leverage, shine hard. Message. People stay giving opinions and they ain't explored. They don't matter, treat them like Martin. Y'all gotta go, get the stepping. They ain't no factor, I'm about business. I don't even listen, gossipers. Like chit-chatting, lip flapping. Till it's about action, John shit smacking. Metal click clacking, pull up what's hot, hop out the whip. Hit the scene, super clean, like a rabbit. Falls down and out of sound. The meanest speaking legend. Many years, too many tears. Times change my grind, epic. Ball down hard just like the Celtics. Stirred your queen, she just melted. Seen her hate, know you felt it. Got old bills like an elder. My house big like a shelter. Tryna get rich, I can't settle. Take it up a notch, up a level. Just went tears, nickname the rebel. Look at my watch, all gold bezel. Chain drip water like tea kettle. Upgraded my new bitch, my old bitch. I know it's since progression. Lace my neck, upgrade my check. Bought a new wrist progression, new flex. All designers, slick and shrimp at Benny Honors. Line up commas, drop a bag on your mama. Progression in the store. If I like, swipe, progression. Ball stuff, teach you a lesson. Take a chance, see my progression. Put my foot on little peasants. See no hate, got hate repelling. I got leverage, shine hard. Message. If I like it, I'ma buy it. Swipe. Walking stores, buy whatever, fuck a price. I got the juice, super fly like a kite. Level up like a flight, shots of goose, something hype. Put the tree in the pipe, shine bright, my cat fight. Make you niggas uptight, trying to clone my life. Bad bone, my stripes, hating ain't my type. Statements ain't my type, you niggas gay like dice. Your chick bad, I strike. Play my style, lay this pipe. Grind day and night just to drop a bag on the dice. Damn.
Swipe, progression. Okay, we back, man. Alright, who we got up next? Who we got up next on the call from the crew?
This is Dilemma. I'm back.
What
What's
up?
going on?
So we didn't get a chance to hear your story.
Oh, story time. Okay.
Your story, your background, kind of how you got
It was.
here, what drove you from very young. We heard different things from you guys, but
Mhm.
the full scope.
Well, it was a cold, rainy winter, December. It's like no. It kind of started from my parents. My influence in music came from my parents. They don't play instruments, but they listen to music a lot. So I just remember in my early moments of just falling in love with music was those Saturday mornings cleaning up the crib, my mom blasting Anita Baker, my dad blasting Bobby Brown, Earth, Wind and Fire, Michael Jackson, and this annoying so it was just we would constantly, 7 a.m. Saturday mornings cleaning the crib, you would just hear the beginning of Rapture. Always run it again. And then when I got to, elementary school, maybe like towards the end of elementary school years, my dad would play this jazz album of this guy who the sound was just horrendous to me, like horrendous. I was like, what is this? Why does he continue to play this? And it was John Coltrane, My Favorite Things. So when the opportunity became, in elementary school, there was a guy who would come around in classes and ask you, what instrument do you want to play? And of course, I'm thinking I'm going to play the drums because, all the spotlight will be on me. I get all the girls, all of that stuff. But my parents were like, don't bring any drums home. So I had to pick an instrument. And by the time it got to me, the only thing left was a saxophone. So I didn't know what a saxophone was. But when a guy was like, oh, and then there's a famous jazz player, John Coltrane, that plays it, I was like, oh, no, not this. But little did I know that this saxophone would take me so far, get me into college, and really cement my love for creating music. So throughout elementary school, throughout high school, I was a big jazz head. So I was the one driving around blasting Kinda Blue and Charlie Parker and Cannonball Adderley while everybody was blasting like Nas and Mobb Deep and Jay-Z. I was the weird one. But it wasn't until after I used the saxophone to get me into college. I got a scholarship at UArts in Philadelphia. And then I would say my sophomore, junior year at college is when I started producing. And it was just based off of my roommate, who is Adam Blackstone. He is an amazing, world-renowned music director. He's done the Grammys for like the past, I don't know, 5 years. He's done the Super Bowl for like the last 5 years. He's been the music director.
Talking on calm like this is my roommate done Grammys, he's done the Super Bowl, like this everyday shit. Dog, y'all are so fucking
But
incredible. Like,
That's good though.
because the relationship between me and Adam didn't start in college. We actually played basketball together in fourth grade. So we met in fourth grade, but his love for music and my love for music didn't like really, really blossom until we got to high school, of course. And then we both went to the same college and then ended up being close friends and roommates. His path, he kind of hit a jet stream when he got to college because he was a bass player. The Roots was looking for a bass player just to, sub in and stuff. So once he got into that network, he was out of here. Yeah, I never saw him at school or in the dorm room. So with that, he left all his equipment, which was a Triton and an MPC and everything. So while he was gone, touring with Jaguar Wright and Vivian Green, I was in the dorm room making beats. And then when he would come home to change clothes,
being green
I
with
would
me, that roller coaster.
right.
Yeah.
Right. That was like during that time where roller coaster was rolling and everything. He would come back and I would play him some stuff and he would just always encourage me, oh, you sounded good, man. Keep going, keep going, keep going. So when I left school, I decided to just start investing in buying, studio equipment. And, I had a regular day job working at a mortgage company. This lady sitting next to me, she would see me there every day with my headphones and I would literally study instrumentals. Like I was the one going to the mixtape stores, buying all the instrumentals, the best of Timberland, the best of Pharrell, the best of Just Blaze, all their instrumentals. And I would sit at work and just listen to their beats and try to figure out, okay, how are they using this snare? How is it being mixed? And then go home and try to copy that, and try to copy that feel and try to copy that sound. So during that process, this lady who was sitting next to me, she was just like, you should sit here and listen to beats all day. You should, get into some beat battles and stuff like that. And so she taught me, she kind of, just because her daughter's boyfriend was making beats and that's what he was doing. So she told me that. I looked into that. I saw that all the beat battles were going on in New York. I'm from Jersey. I've never been to New York before. So I saved a couple dollars, jumped on New Jersey Transit, went to New York, was like rolling around, getting lost, but ended up in a bunch of beat battles and just throwing myself out there, just, really just trying to see how good I really was and how well, networking. Didn't realize it was networking at the time, but networking. Through that process, I started making a name for myself. Being that I was from the South Jersey, Philly area, but I was going to New York and coming in second, coming in third, coming in first in a lot of these beat battles, that once the beat battle circuit started to grow and it came to Philly, they already knew who I was. And then I started winning a lot of the beat battles in Philly that kind of got me into the freeways and the Black Thoughts and, just working my name in the neighborhood. So
These dudes just keep
I
throwing
worked.
names out here like they're just average names. The Freeway, the Black Dot. I was just working with these guys the other day.
Cause
I
it's
love
you know what it is.
I love your
You know what it
humbleness.
is. It's like
I honestly do.
it's like
Y'all stories are
because
great. Like it's y'all struggles and what you done. Like dog, I could just sit here and just listen. Shit, I ain't even gotta talk for the rest of the show. I will because I like the sound of
right,
my voice, but
right, and it was interesting hearing Chris's story because we've been working for 2 years and we don't even know each other's full stories. Like it's a little different. My path is a little bit different. My mom didn't totally agree on the path I chose, but my dad was like, he could be doing a lot of other things, selling drugs, making babies. He found something that he loved. Let him do that. I remember.
no. Like real talk, that's important. My I was so proud of my nephew Renegade. The video that we played at the beginning of the show is a money combo, and that's my nephew Renegade. Um, but he could have easily made two choices. He could have followed what I did in music, or he could have followed what his father did by hustling in the streets, and he chose
Right,
over the streets. And you know, it was hard enough dealing with my mother with her son being locked up. Just imagine dealing with my mother and her grandson and her son being locked up.
right.
It'd have been a different type of struggle.
Yeah, it's good to hear that you
Yeah.
have that support system.
So yeah, I did
it
it.
it was it was surprising. I thought my dad would be the one that was like, 401k and all of this stuff, because they come from that generation where you go to school, you just work and you work. That's it. There was no creativity. There was no jobs of being a entrepreneur. That wasn't a popular thing. Coming out of like I graduated in 2002, so it was like around that time you had to. It was either go to school or go to the army. That was it. Like, and that's what that's my older sister did. So for me, being like, I'm gonna go to school for teaching. I wanted to be a music teacher, but then stopped and was like, I think I want to be a producer. I love music enough. I always loved how music made people feel, how you can change your energy, change your room with just sounds. That's what drew me. Like that's what I was. I felt like that was my purpose. So throughout the whole beat battle thing and making a name for myself, I knew that I had to, start to really figure this thing out. So what I did was I started working with a whole bunch of other producers that I met through the beat battle circuit. This one producer that I worked with, he started we started working together, and that's how we met Poster Boy, but I was still doing the beat battle stuff. I met a guy, I won a beat battle, and I met a guy who was just a lawyer who was shopping things around. I gave him a beat CD. He was shopping my stuff around, and my first placement was in the movie Waist Deep with Tyrese and The Game. And he was just a random guy who was just in the crowd. And I gave him a beat CD. He was like, yo, I'll sent your stuff out to a couple of music supervisors, and they want to use it for the movie and, for the soundtrack. So I just remember getting that phone call and just like, hey, we're going to pay you $15,000 for this beat, and we're going to put it in the movie. We're going to put it, and and I hang up the phone and I go to my mom and I'm like, yeah, I think I sold a beat for like 15. And she was like, oh, nice, 1,500. And I was like, no, 15,000. She said, what? And then,
Talking about what I'm talking about.
right. And I remember the movie coming out. It was in the summertime. It was a Friday, and that was the same day that the check came. So from the time I got the phone call was like December, and then the movie came out the following year in June. I'm talking peanut butter jelly, ooze noodles every day up until that point that movie came out. And the movie come out, I received the check in the mail the same day. I'm in the movie theater with like a group of my friends, and when they hear the beat at the particular part of the movie, we just turned the whole movie theater into a club. Like we all just started screaming and jumping around and, sharing that moment with, kids I went to school with that just seeing me just stay in the house all summer, never going to parties, just making beats and, oh, where's the limo? Where's the limo? Oh, he's in the house. He's in the house. He's in the house. Sharing that moment with them was amazing. And then it got real after that. Like, that's when I took that money, started investing in myself. I turned my parents' garage into a studio, and I was recording everyone in my neighborhood. And it was a small town called Willingboro in South Jersey, but there was so many rappers, but there weren't a lot of studios. So I figured that I could be the hub and record everyone. I didn't have to work anywhere because I was going to make money. So I was making good amount of money, but I wanted to then level up. So I did that for maybe 3 years, and then I made the move to Philadelphia to get a job at Sigma Sound Studios from my college friend Adam, because he knew the owner of Sigma. And so he made that connection. I did a interview. They put me in there. And then at Sigma, that's when I started working with like Boyz II Men and Meek Mill and, all of these as just like a young kid, just like trying to just figure it out still. But I understood that where you are can also determine how much you're worth, your value. So I was making the same amount of beats in my mom's garage, but I could only charge maybe $300-$400. Now, since I'm in the studio, a real studio, that can go up to $3,000, $5,000 now.
Again,
the same beat.
Say that again.
The same beat. Say it again.
Say it.
Sometimes your value determines on your location.
So, and here's the thing. You could be a good cook, right?
Yep.
And you could be serving me prime rib. Like, real talk, Harry's Teeter serves prime rib for $10 on Thursday. They give you a little styrofoam shit. Now, if you come to Ludacris, they're going to serve you prime rib and it's going to be 30, maybe 60.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
That much difference. However,
nope,
it's
not
the
at all.
presentation. When you get prime rib out of her, it's still prime rib, but when you get prime rib out of her Teeter, it ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? People look at it better when you get it get it from Ludacris. Ludacris. I'm sorry. Ludacris.
Absolutely.
I'm a little drunk.
Right.
So
I knew where he was going.
Yeah. So it's a different flavor. It's a different flair. I ain't gonna say flavor because it's the same shit, but it's a different flair, and the presentation looks different. When I have prime rib and it's in a styrofoam paper, styrofoam lunch things, it's different than what I'm getting on the porcelain plate.
Yeah, because they're gonna give you, the napkin that's gonna feel like a comforter, and they're gonna give you, the shiny forks and everything like that. All that matters.
Yeah.
All that matters. So that was a lesson that I learned fairly quickly, that I can take the same beat, take it across the bridge, and it adds $1,500 to $2,000 worth to that. So
conversations.
So it was like being an entrepreneur and getting thrown into it. It wasn't something that I thought or I knew that that's what it was called or what I was trying to do. I just was chasing the feeling of just making music. I wanted to travel and make music, and I was trying to figure out if I can make money doing these two things, I will be happy. So that's all I was trying to figure out, and, it led me to being in the studio, engineering, working with acts, and, the one thing that I've learned now that I didn't know back then was a key word that Deshaun said was intentional. I didn't understand that, sometimes we get success, but we can't repeat success because we don't write down how we got it. We don't write down the steps. We kind of lean on our own talent. Oh yeah, you got us talking now. You got us talking. So sometimes we just lean on our talent and think that our talent at the end of the day is going to keep us up. And your talent can get you to, the first door. But getting to the second door is how intentional you are with nurturing that talent and still putting in the work, and then making sure you have a system and a blueprint of how to repeat that success, how to repeat what you just did over and over again. And not that it's just like, I just came to the studio and I just picked some sounds and, because I couldn't explain anything that I was doing before, but now I can explain exactly how I worked with Jasmine or how I worked with Meek or how whoever I worked with is more intentional now of me studying, really analyzing, answering the whys, and then putting in the work.
I don't have anything. CP3, you got anything? They're killing it.
Another great and interesting story. I was also one of those guys riding around playing Isaac Hayes and Rare Earth and old school stuff.
You're a pimp. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That UGK and Too Short and what else is?
You
UGK
gotta
came
understand
later.
the
Came later.
he's like a pimp slash gangster.
Slash prophet.
Prophet.
Profit.
Knowledge sometimes, man. Don't be disrespecting
You
my
better
gangster.
Okay.
stand the pimp,
Don't
nigga.
be disrespecting. It be good knowledge. It's still knowledge, damn it. But as I was
Right,
saying,
absolutely.
yeah, exactly. As I was saying, it's definitely, excuse me, encouraging to hear these stories, because I actually make beats also. I dibble dabbled, and I didn't take it serious and invest in myself in it. I still do a little something something, but it's just impressive to hear how you guys come together in your own group, but also the stories of how you made your way to this group, and it's just impressive that I know it's all about timing and knowing the right people, but like you said, you were prepared, you studied, you practiced, like I said, you stayed in the house instead of going to parties and worked on your craft, and it's all paying off. And I'm kind of envious, because I wish I had some of that drive back then that I have now, because maybe I could have did something with my
I,
music that I chose to.
Instead of running
You
the
still
streets.
can. You just had to do sing on one of your tracks last year. So
True, true.
stop acting like Tom. Are you in a casket?
Nah, no sir,
Okay,
no
then shut
sir.
that shit
No,
up.
I'm just saying it's impressive to see what they've done, coming from where they came from. You know what I'm saying? I've done a lot of things that, if I took that energy in the music when I enjoyed doing it, maybe I could have, made some stories like them. So
Maybe if you stop having sex in church parking lots, you won't have this
it was
problem.
next to the church parking lot. Damn it, get the facts right, man. It was not. I mean,
right,
even it was not in the parking lot.
Baby, you
She just
are.
happened to work there. That's all.
right.
You right, but
And
Technically, I'm not.
I, I,
See how they
I
be
was gonna
attacking me,
say,
dog. See how they be attacking me, man.
I was gonna say, I definitely appreciate that, and I don't want to make it seem like we've had all this wisdom from day one. Literally within the last 2 years, we've just been really analyzing and looking inward. So I really feel like it was because of school. Talent, just pure talent, not studying, got me to college. But I wasn't able to excel because I didn't learn how to be disciplined enough to practice. And it wasn't until one of my professors was like, yeah, you got here because you're nice and you're good, but you're not going to beat any of these other kids because they don't do anything else but just play their horn. And I didn't understand that. They didn't have a social life. They wasn't worried about girls or sports or anything like that. They just wanted to practice all day. At that particular age, I didn't understand it. I couldn't do it. It wasn't until after school that I was like, oh, if I'm really going to be a good producer, I got to lock myself in and be disciplined to get better. So when my friends were like, hey, you just made 15 grand. Let's go pop some bottles. Let's go, do something. I went to Guitar Center and spent 13 grand in like 30 minutes.
Shout out to Guitar Center.
Because I said,
Buy a lot of equipment from
we
there.
love them.
I was just like, give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that. I just invest in myself, and and that's it. That's just all I knew that I had to do if I was really going to take it serious. And where we are now with crew, I'm really happy to be around these gentlemen because I've always been looking for a brotherhood, always. Since day one, I always was looking for a brotherhood, and so it was funny because when I was in Jersey and I turned my parents' garage into a studio, Deshaun actually came to the studio, but it wasn't his session. He came as a friend to someone else. So when I met him, it was right off the making the band stuff. And I was like, oh, what's up, man? Blah, blah, blah. Who would have known, like 10, 15 years later, we'd be working together,
Right.
But he was just in my house, sitting on the couch, watching me engineer, work with this artist. And we called Deshaun Nick Fury. Like, he literally is Nick Fury. He just went around and just grabbed all the other Avengers and, put us all in one room, created a plan, and we all kind of liked each other because we all knew of each other and said, hey, let's do this thing.
Right. And you never know. And like you said, when you know you gave out your tape to somebody, a random person in your head. Like networking
Right.
is real. And that same
Oh,
thing got you in a movie. I mean, come on now. So you
oh man, it was like that. My first placement was so unreal of because I'm telling you the short story of it. It was so much drama behind this one track that you know this person wanted it, and this person wanted it, and then it didn't make the movie. And then I told the movie people don't use it because I was going to give it to Rhyme Fest, and Rhyme Fest was going to use the same track because my lawyer at the time said that was a better option. And then Clyde Davis said, no, we don't want to use that song. And then I had to call the movie people back. It was my first placement. It was like, this is the music industry?
Yeah.
Like, this is the music industry. This is crazy. So, um, it's been but at the end of the day, like I said, I've always wanted to do music and make money and be able to take care of, live and survive. So I don't look at it as work. Um, and we talk about being humble. It's a little bit of just humility of being, you know, high and then being low. One thing me and Chris do share, we've both been homeless, before. That transition after Sigma was rough, and but God is always good, and he always continues to make a way. So we work with big stars and know a lot of big people, and it's just like yes, I'm so thankful. But
yeah.
You know what I'm
We need to
We
meet
may
up.
have to run down to Philly or something.
Yeah.
Get some cheesesteaks or some exclusive footage or some shit. This shit.
We need to
Y'all,
meet up.
come on up,
Y'all might have to drop a
come on up.
see if y'all might like them. Shit,
you
it's
know.
15 grand for a soundtrack. Hey, I'm down with that any day, man.
Man. Dog, I mean,
Right.
honestly, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You see, you got one more
Are you
person.
you guys based in South Carolina? Are you based in South Carolina? I'm sorry.
Nah, we in the DMV.
We're Washington
We
D.C.
real close,
Oh.
bro.
Yeah,
You
we
only a
not too
couple
far
hours
from
away.
DC.
Hey, I'm a road warrior, bro. You give me a rental car and a pack of backwoods, baby. We'll be there in a day.
I mean, we could invite you down, but right now is not quite a good time.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think
Right.
It's
No, we
a good
y'all
time
already
for y'all
probably
to
there.
come
Yeah, I
here.
don't know if y'all want to. There's a lot of other things going
Yeah,
on.
right now there's a lot of things going on in the DMV. So, but once we clear that up,
yeah.
y'all are more welcome to come
Oh,
Yeah,
down.
I need
after the
to.
20th.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
need
after
to
the
meet up.
20th.
After the
Oh yeah,
20th.
I need
Yeah,
to
after
meet
the 20th. After the 20th
But
is
I
probably
definitely
best.
want to go to Philly because I really love to meet y'all personally, and I need another cheesesteak. It's been a couple of years.
Oh, I used to go.
Come on up.
Yeah, I used to go to the plateau with my folks sometime, man. So I know. I used to hang out Philly a little bit. We used to
Yeah,
go
I bet
get
you was on the
grass.
corner.
Yeah, sometimes corners
You was always the corner, bro.
sometimes corners was involved. Cheese steaks was involved, and It always in
And some
Philly.
women.
Uh-huh.
Always a good time in
Women and
Philly.
And
gunplay.
some women.
Yeah, of course it had to be women. I only travel out of state for certain things.
Yeah, we know it.
No.
Look, that's CP3. He does not he does not represent the views of the show.
I
He
bring the
doesn't
real
represent
I bring
views
the
of
real
everyone.
perspective of folks that travel
No,
from
you
state to
bring
state.
You bring a
your
you bring a
perspective.
thug perspective.
Hey, look, this is the stories that don't get told. We were
Oh
talking
my
about that
goodness.
earlier.
Lord.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Uh-huh.
Right, right. You
I
heard
had
that
some
right.
wild nights in Philly,
Where
you
you
had some
were
wild nights everywhere, bro.
South Jersey and
you
Philly.
had wild nights
I
down the
had,
street. What do
but
you
true,
mean?
but I mean when it's different when it's out of
You had
state.
wild nights in Capitol Heights, so
Yeah, but it's different when it's out of state,
it
man. It's
is.
different because when you take over a club and you're from out of state, it's a whole
Uh,
different
oh,
Oh
you,
no,
vibe.
I've done that, but I don't think my night ended the way your night ended.
Most, I don't know.
yeah.
Was it
Was what?
was it a night?
Deep,
Knife play?
Yeah.
deep.
Oh, okay.
Mm. You
So
see, this is what
I
people don't
remember.
deal
I'm
with.
just asking because
he,
certain
this
people.
goes back like he's the victim, but he's the biggest thug
I'm
in the
just
room.
saying, some folks walk around with blades all the time. I was just asking this blade for
I love
It's for
DC.
protection.
And some folks bring their own real live weapon to a video shoot.
potato, potato, tomato, tomato. We all feel protected and safe with different things
Yeah,
around.
whatever. So, so do we have another member
That we haven't spoke to.
that we haven't spoke to yet?
Yeah, I think you wanted to talk to Sean and his story.
Definitely,
Let's see.
dude.
Oh,
I
hold on, I'll pass
just
it off
got
right
his
now.
hand, so just yo, put him on the line, nigga.
Here, I'm passing it off right now.
Okay.
It's not.
Hold on.
I'm ready to go to Philly. I need a cheesesteak and everything. There's some deep stories. This is the one that I love about at the bar. Like one thing is that we gonna give you the stuff that other people don't give you. It allow every member to tell their story and stuff like that. I think that's. I love that aspect of the show, and everybody's telling like great stories.
Mm. Sean, you on there with us?
Yeah, I'm here. What's the
Hey,
question?
Sean. So,
Yeah.
we have everyone giving us the background and their pretty much their scope of how they
Okay.
got to where they are, like what
Okay.
your inspiration
Mhm.
was, things of that nature, struggles that
Yeah.
you had to go through coming up to kind of
Hmm.
push through and get to, a comfortable place as far as your
Right.
music is concerned.
I mean, yeah. It's still evolving even now. But for me, my parents were both musical. My mom could sing and had I mean, I didn't learn about this till later on in adulthood, but her dream was to be on Broadway. Right. My father went to college for music. He played saxophone. They met in college.
Oh,
But my my pop became, more and more focused on spiritual things, you know what I mean? Um, on the church side, so to speak.
okay.
And so when I was 6 years old, my parents split. As he kind of became more engrossed in that, my mom kind of wasn't comfortable with the direction, and they split. So now I live with my dad. Um, so my music wasn't necessarily encouraged. It wasn't hindered, but it wasn't encouraged. You know what I mean? So I had those talents, but it was nobody really pushing me in that direction. Middle school, I get into band. I played the drums, and then kind of got into singing. I joined chorus and all that stuff, but I wasn't really focused on it in middle school. Towards the end of high school, um, I started to visit my mom more, and I went to like this hole in the wall open mic, and that kind of reignited stuff for me. There was things I had done in high school, like I put on the talent show in my high school. Like I was the person who kind of produced the two um, talent shows that we had, and I ended up eventually being introduced to members of this singing group that were older than me, and we ended up doing this. It was like a talent show, ongoing like talent show thing that was in Philly. And the group I was in, we succeeded in winning the different stages of it and got offered a record deal. But along the way, what happened was a girl who was coming out to support our group
didn't go home after the show. She went home with one of the guys from my group. And so her mother called around looking for her. And when my father heard about that, he used the principle based in the Bible that if you are stumbling someone else, basically, it would be better for you to tie a new. It's in Luke. I think it's like Luke 17:2. It would be better to tie a millstone around your neck and throw yourself in the ocean than to stumble someone else. Right. So he asked me to leave the group, and I was like, I'm not leaving the group. It wasn't an argument. It wasn't a beef. You know what I mean? My dad yelled at me one time my entire life, and that night wasn't that time. You know what I'm saying? Right. I understood his principle. I packed up and I moved out. So that was at 17. So the group I was in, extremely talented, and I'm close with most of those guys to this day, but they just weren't as business about the music as I was, and I had sacrificed a lot to do it, like moving out. And then also I had kind of given up a partial scholarship I had to focus on music. So eventually I moved to Philly to keep doing it. And I joined other groups, but I was always studying the business and the mindset behind getting stuff done. So as I kind of evolved past different situations, I just kept getting myself around people that, I could learn more and more from. And, eventually, went back to New York and I had the opportunity around 2000, 2001 to write in-house at Bad Boy Studio. I was working with Mario Winans at the time, heavy, and some other things. And then, by 2007, that's when I did Making the Band. And, it just kept progressing that way. But at the foundation of me is just the reality that my father played sax. And I used to kind of like listen to him play and kind of, emulate that. His brother was a multi-instrumentalist. So I had like real instruments at like a young age, but it wasn't anybody like really pushing it. So it started a connection to music, but it wasn't being cultivated like that, which kind of became a blessing and a curse because my dad told me one time I wasn't even doing music yet. He told me this story about him in college. He was like, he was in this band that would perform and they would pay the crew that worked on like setting up the band stuff $100. And he said they were always on time, very, disciplined, very professional about it. And he was like, he would have rather been in a band with the people in the crew than the actual band. And that just always stuck with me. That was like long before I ever started doing music. So then by the time I started doing music, I started to see why he made that statement. It's like a lot of times creatives aren't the most disciplined people. Creativity and discipline don't always go hand in hand. So it gave me a just certain mindset about how to approach it. By the time I was 19, I had a son. So then my thought, and I have two sons now. My oldest son is 22. My youngest son is 9. The way I see the music, as much as I'm a creative person and can sing and perform and all that kind of stuff, I look at it as like I'm on their time, not mine. So my approach to it is I ain't fucking around. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, it's like I love the music, but I'm a student because I have to get a result. So it's like, even when I was on Making the Band, yeah, it's on TV, but my oldest son, he lived in North Carolina. So I was like, if he was able to turn on Sean TV, so to speak, at any moment, what am I doing that makes sense? Or am I just, you know what I'm saying? Or am I just playing? Because I'm doing this on his time, so it needs to make sense. So that kind of sums up my approach. That's kind of where I came from with it. And then, up to now.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Being on Making a Band, we all know how those experiences goes. It's televised, so it's no secret to the different things that went on. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Knowing what you know now, would you go back and do it again?
Yeah, sure, because I learned a ton doing it. And let me say this: the show was 9 episodes, right? Mm-hmm. They're like 40-some minutes long. Mm-hmm. That's nothing compared to the amount of time we spent doing it. So it's like there's a ton that people didn't see. You know, it's for, I was there from like February to August.
Right.
God
So yeah,
So
yeah,
my question is,
yeah. But the show was only 9 episodes, so it's not a ton y'all never saw.
right. So what's the biggest
Yeah.
thing that you took away from that show?
There's a few things. The how intentional he was about the team he put together. The reality that great talent doesn't equal great um, execution. Mm. Sometimes the same things that make you laugh make you cry. You know, so somebody who has a ton of star power isn't always the most disciplined. You know, it's the balance that kind of creates the result. So those are some of my major takeaways
Right. We
from it. The team game, like my son, my youngest son, every time I see him, I tell him I love him. Right? There's a mantra we say. So much so that today I was dropping him off before I came here, and today was the first time like he just said it to me, like not like me saying the thing and him. I would say it and he kind of ends the phrases. This is the first time he ever like said it to me where I was ending them. Right. So I tell him I love him. I tell him you always gotta have a good plan. It's okay to ask for help, and we never give up.
right.
I said all those things back to back. Right. He's 9 years old. It's the first day he said it himself
Oh,
to me. You know what I mean? So those I would absolutely do it again because it's okay. Well, it was an education. You know what I mean? Like it's not just about Diddy himself. It's also about being around those other guys that were elitely talented and learning. Everybody is your teacher. Some people teach you what to do. Some people teach you what not to do.
right.
You know what I mean? So there's a ton that you learn while doing it. It's an opportunity for iron to sharpen iron. That's Proverbs 27:17, man. Like so, anytime to be around other people that are really gifted and some that are really sharp is just you can't turn down that opportunity because it's an opportunity to better yourself and other people around you.
Right. Okay. C, you got anything?
All I want is the address so we can know where to find these cats at. Because, like you said, this is one of the best interviews with a collective group of people
Yeah.
that have a similar message, is on the same page, and you can see that are destined for great things. And it's like you said, I'm speechless, man. I just want to know when we making that Philly run so we can go there and meet these cats in person.
Right. I will say
Well, I think that is a great compliment because you know I think of it almost like basketball, right? And I'm a talent. I'm a singer, songwriter, and movie exec. But the main thing in the case of Crew is that I picked these guys. You know what I mean? So assembling this team, I'm super appreciative that they were willing to sign up for it. You know, um, but that's like my main function is that outside of the creative side is being the GM, so to speak, the guy who assembles the squad. So I'm happy to hear that y'all, feel the same way I do about these different individuals, and we're gonna, keep progressing and make it magic.
I will say it's very refreshing to hear all of you speak on your experiences. And honestly, the energy that you guys give us in this interview actually came through in your song.
yeah.
Because
Oh,
from the moment I heard it, we play a lot of music on here. We have a lot of
mhm,
artists that we kind of showcase and things like that. But when I heard your song, we all were like, "Oh, who's this?" And
right,
151 was like, "Oh yeah, those are the guys that we're gonna have on the show in a couple weeks." And we were like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait." So we felt that energy
yeah,
through your music, which is something unfortunately is lost um, kind of in
And a
today's
lot of
yeah,
no, be honest, and a lot of
yeah,
music that we hear, we don't feel
right. A lot of
like
the music, and it's not just on this show.
yeah.
It's a problem
right,
kind of in our society. A lot of people, they don't go with
mhm,
their heart, they go with what is popular. And I feel like you guys are going with your heart, and it ends up
mhm,
being a masterpiece, which is good. So that's kind of difficult too. Because sometimes what's in your heart ain't hot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I mean, because there has to be a balance. Like there is a science.
What she said.
Um,
Yeah.
there's a science to like putting together great music. Then there's still room for magic, but there's still there there's academics to what feels good. You know, what I mean?
Right.
I think it's important to get feel first, but then when you add to it, learning the nuances of what formulas kind of feel good, you can put together a mix of the two. You know what I'm saying? Like you can make music that's from the heart, and then also like just appeals to the masses too. You know, and that's what we kind of aim for.
Right.
But it's funny. I heard you talking about hip hop earlier, and it's like I say one of the first hip hop acts ever is Sugar Hill Gang.
Yes.
Yes.
That was a hip hop band. You know what I'm saying? Sylvia Robinson found them guys, put them together. She took raps that were being recited out in the streets and put it on them. You know what I'm saying? That was my point is that was a commercial act. That wasn't like it was Run DMC or Public Enemy. You know what I'm saying?
The
It
funny,
was just a fun.
funny
It
thing
was
about
like,
the Sugar Hill Gang is,
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
I think it was Hank. One of them actually took the lyrics from one of the Cold Cuts brothers.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, exactly. It was stolen lyrics.
His
So
lyrics, and
yeah, yeah.
that
That's what I mean.
and
That
he
was a hip
used it
hop
in
boy
his song.
band. It's not
Put the
right,
song out, and nobody called Miles Rogers to let them know they was taking the sample.
Yeah,
He didn't hear it till it was on the radio,
pretty much.
and he was like,
right,
"Oh, wait a minute, that's my lick right there."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
the whole to
That
like
was
you
an
said,
issue.
let's
No, I'm just saying that the today's music has its people who have a real message, and then it has, you know, its Sugar Hill gangs as well. You know what I mean? It's really about what we choose to focus on, and embrace. You know what I mean? And just our particular unit, we just prioritize. We have a spectrum of stuff we do, but we certainly just kind of prioritize the stuff that has that balance that still speaks a message, but that feels good.
Definitely,
So
definitely,
our hopes is with the act that we're working on now, we're able to kind of capture that, and people will embrace it.
Okay.
definitely, definitely. Honestly, I really ain't got too much more for you. I mean, this one of my favorite interviews that I actually don't have to do a lot of talking. I mean, because the product speaks for itself, and y'all stories have been amazing. Like, um, you know, I am. I would lie to you and say I'm a podcaster, but really I'm a product of hip hop.
Mhm.
Yeah,
All
And
the
this
way
is a
up.
music that I love, and this is a music
right,
that I feel a funny way about. Because not everybody that participates in hip hop don't feel like I feel for
Right.
right,
it. And
right.
to hear this conversation is honestly so refreshing. I really don't have anything more. Lady Antoinette, you got anything else you want to end it
I
with?
got one question.
Ah,
Okay.
Yeah.
My last question is very simple and
Mm-hmm.
pulling from one of our favorite movies,
uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Brown Sugar.
Ooh, yes.
So,
Okay.
when
When
did
did you
you
first
first fall
fall
in
in
love
love
with
with
hip
hip
hop?
hop?
um, funny thing is, it was probably my homie playing. I can't remember the year, but my homie playing me the Roots because I come from like I'm a passion for just music overall. Hearing that combination of hip hop combined with the Roots music, and this is back with like back when he had like that scat and you know. I know you like it when I kick it, baby. That scat, I like it when I kick it, baby. That record is probably one of the first hip hop records that I heard that just really kind of moved me. Where I was like, oh man, this is crazy. I got that combination was special. Then if getting it followed up with um, the Gangstar
Mm.
music, you know what I'm saying? Listening to Primo and Guru,
What's your
What's your
favorite
favorite
one?
what they what
album?
Come on now.
yeah, it like that stuff. Even Guru's, I think it's like a solo project basically did called Jasmine Taz.
Ooh,
Kind of opened my eyes.
yes.
Right.
I still listen
Yeah,
to that joint.
that that kind of opened my mind to like how broad the music could be.
Yeah.
Then later on, then by '96, like hearing my favorite song by Jay Z back then, like at the beginning of me and Jay Z, was "Regrets."
Okay.
Okay.
So the honesty in that record and just the vibe of that really showed me kind of how sincere um, hip hop could be. Because I had like an R&B background, and my dad was into jazz. So in my house, I wasn't exposed to a ton of hip hop early. You know what I mean? So it was me kind of hearing those things that kind of opened my eyes. 'Cause I was like a D'Angelo fan and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So hearing that kind of made me start to see hip hop a different way and left hip hop.
Okay. All right. Cool. 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 Well, we want to thank the crew, all of y'all for coming through. Dog, this has been a phenomenal interview.
Yes.
Pop, like I said, one of my favorite interviews that I've done. Period. Uh,
Bet. Well, please keep following us, man, because we got a lot of music to come. So
Perfect.
we definitely appreciate the support.
here's the good thing about that. We are the I kind of know the owners of the bar. So whenever
Yeah.
you have a new project dropping, whatever, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to Alexis. We will definitely play the music. We will definitely play the video.
Yeah.
Your supporters. And the one thing about we doing this show though is we honestly support. Like the music's good, we're gonna like it. We're gonna, boom. I'm gonna go after this show.
Right.
Definitely go to YouTube. And,
Yeah.
and give you a like and a comment for After Bar Radio. Um, that's what we do.
And you got Sports Video podcast, and we play videos too, so we can play your video
Dope.
on our show also. So you're gonna get some different
Awesome.
input from different markets, baby.
Awesome, man. We definitely appreciate it.
So definitely, definitely.
So where can we find all of your stuff?
That's a great question.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the crew page will definitely feature what we have going on with everybody in the collective, which is just on Instagram. It's C.R.E.W.7. So at crew 7.
Okay.
That's the most new is the most what I'm saying, centralized place to kind of see what we're working on. It features the different artists and all that. It's like the best way to kind of find
Okay.
what we got going on.
All right, bet.
And again, my thing, so all of us individually is doing stuff, but the page, the crew page,
Right.
will kind of show you what we're working on.
Perfect.
Definitely, and definitely we'll follow the crew page. Make sure you follow the At the Bar page. Make sure you
Yeah.
follow the Lady Antoinette page. Make sure you
Okay.
follow the Sports on the Hill page as well too. Like the one thing we do is like
Cool.
we all grow together. So if we all network and do what we supposed to do, we all get to the
Yeah.
top at the same time.
Indeed.
So, I mean, crew stands for create results. Everybody wins. So,
There you
Yeah,
go.
you know,
I like it.
definitely, definitely,
yeah.
definitely. I'm about to play Chantel Marie. I met her. She was an artist I met in Philly about 2 years ago. I've been following
Okay.
her. She dope artist. She got her own lipstick line, and just hustling and grinding. And I, be watching what she be doing on IG. And then I remember when I gave her, we were picking numbers and stuff for what artists she would, who she about to perform in, and she was like, yo, this number, I dreamed about this number felt special to me. And the next time I saw her, she was in ATL, and she actually brought another artist that was popping in ATL, that was from Philly, on while she performed and stuff like that, just to show love.
Yeah.
So, I just love the vibe. And
Entrepreneurial, that knows how to give back. That's love.
definitely, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
So we about to play this at the bar radio, then, we'll be wrapping it up with I'm sure we got some CP3 shenanigans before we wrap up. Lord, he got the funny voice out already.
All right. But thank you guys for coming and blessing us with your presence.
Yeah, we
Much
definitely
love.
gonna
Much
be up
love.
Oh,
It was
Philly.
a dope interview.
Much
Much
love.
love.
Much
Yeah,
love.
we definitely coming up Philly, baby.
all right, bet. Thanks for having us.
All right.
Wow. All right, thank you.
This for the ladies. Ay.
Word.
It's Marie, the boss. Checkmate. Melt that ass if you know that you established. Only fucking with them niggas getting cabbage. Leveled up so you know that you ain't average. Bundles long, way past that asses. Melt that ass if you know that you established. Only fucking with them niggas getting cabbage. Leveled up so you know that you ain't average. Bundles long, way past that asses. Independent boss bitch with an attitude. Crack a smile when I want, but I'm kinda rude. Got a thing for a thug, big rough dude. Put a little venom on his tongue when I'm in the mood. He fly me out in any type of weather. Massaging on my back saying we should be together. Role playing for this nigga in the bed, he call me Heather. Smack my ass with the whip, bougie shit, it's higher leather. Melt that ass if you know that you established. Only fucking with them niggas getting cabbage. Leveled up so you know that you ain't average. Bundles long, way past that asses. Melt that ass if you know that you established. Only fucking with them niggas getting cabbage. Leveled up so you know that you ain't average. Bundles long, way past that asses. Do the nasty on the low. So when the morning come, you know that nigga gotta go. Want me to be his wife, he never treat me like a hoe. You know I like the money, so he make that cash flow. Hey, if you know that you want money, make it bitch, say real shit. If you never fuck with a broke nigga, period. If he a mess, tell him next, and we serious. I'm his money, and you busy, leave that nigga on carry. Make that ass if you know that you established. Only fucking with them niggas getting cabbage. Leveled up, so you know that you ain't average. Bundles long, way past that asses. Melt that ass if you know that you established. Only fucking with them niggas getting cabbage. Leveled up so you know that you ain't average. Bundles long, way past that asses. I choose me like.
Ooh, Lord. Oh, my Lord. That's my...
Don't even let that bother you because you know what it is.
Oh, man.
People gonna have something to say regardless. Whether you don't
Can you hear me? I am calling now out your name, and now I know. I know, and I'm here, and you know it. It's all just the same, and I know it's gonna be disco. Take me to a place where everybody learns, where everybody sees, where everybody shows their love. I didn't think so. You know. That's why I always try to plan for you or me. I really didn't think so. I take a promise, I give it some love, I make a wish upon a star. You know you gotta get it right. You know you gotta get it right. Ooh, every little thing counts now. Every little bitty thing. Can you hear me? I am calling now out your name, and now I know. And I'm here, and you know it. It's all just the same, and I know it's gonna be disco. It'd be so cool just to celebrate all the love and all the hate that's going down. It's gotta stop, we've had enough. Why can't we just live together? Peace, love, and harmony is what this world needs forever. Can you hear me? I am calling now out your name, and now I know. Can you hear me? I am calling out your name.
I'm play one more video.
Oh, what's this? What you mean? Like every time you got this book bag on, you on some bullshit. So what I'm asking is, why the fuck do you got on your trap bag? What the fuck are you about to do?
He said with one glance I took his heart, and my touch revved his engine like a push to start. Staring said my body had the look of art, like dealt the shitty hand until he took my card. When it's daytime, Moet, FaceTime, phone sex. He ate mine, not blow next, but on the waistline, so blessed. I'm looking like a snack, you should open me and try it. Get on the breezy diet, you'll be the only client. He said he's signing up with his tongue. He said my heart is marijuana. He just licking the blunt. Yeah, I wrote him like an ATV. Ain't fucking the week, put out an APB. Come into my bedroom, honey. What I got will make you spend money. All night long. Give me
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yo, clean that.
when you reach the top. Ride your sex drive like an interstate. Reservations, I'm the full course meal on this dinner date. Wanna explore my body and I'm down for the escapade. Said he ain't the please, I'm the queen, so I delegate. Got him around my body like he's on a tour. Got him feeling like a crackhead by the corner store. It don't matter if we fucking, he still aim to please. He been missing me all day, he tryna feel the breeze. Me F Evan Bonte on the boom fuck. He said I pressed his buttons, now he beating like a boom box. He said this pussy have him high like moon rocks. Cream so much dick look like a fresh white pair of tube socks. Come into my bedroom, honey. What I got will make you spend money. All night long. Give me all your love and don't stop. My love's waiting when you reach the top.
You know, CB3's watching the female grind in this joint while rolling a blunt.
Oh, here we go. Is this mic on? Because we don't know.
I'm about to turn this mic on right now.
Yeah, back in the building.
You know, CP3, you be doing a lot.
Always, baby, gotta keep it moving.
Like,
Nigga, if you don't stop changing your fucking voice on the
like,
show.
he says you're doing a lot. Maybe he meant like team too much.
Huh?
See, there you go.
I'm trying to pull up this information.
Pull up information.
Like,
oh, I thought you were talking about
like Lady Antoinette, I think that was one of our best interviews that we've done.
It was, and I mean, you know how I was when you played it the first time. I was like, "Who's this?"
Yeah.
Because I was looking at the video. I was like, "Who's this?" Wait a minute. But I mean, I'm pleased with it.
I am very, very, very much. Dog, it's really crazy because everybody had great fucking stories. Yeah. Like, do you realize that 90% of this show we were silent? That's that's a big that's a big. That's a lot for us, you know. CP3 ain't going to no feet sucking stories or ass licking stories, or anything like that.
Y'all ask me those questions, and I have no choice but to tell the truth.
Yeah,
no, because you go into your stories and you'll drop little tidbits that we didn't ask. How are we gonna ask those questions?
Because it adds spice to the story.
Here's the thing: if we don't know, then we're not asking. You provide.
Yes.
Because these are teasers for the web series that's coming soon. Changing the names of the guilty because wasn't nobody innocent.
Yeah, apparently your life ain't everybody's guilty in your life, nigga.
You goddamn right.
Except for you.
Nah, I did some things.
But you won't actually admit to that.
No, because we changed the names of the guilty because wasn't nobody innocent.
So okay, got you. So you guilty, but you can't say your name. You gotta change your name to other people.
It's gonna be feet instead of foot.
You know what? And
Well,
I'm
yeah.
telling you, he's the king of too much
Mm.
information.
Yes.
Because
Like,
it adds flavor to the story.
no, but I mean, it's not. No, you said it adds flavor to the story. That's here on air. But as a person,
Mm.
you have you have this knack of trying to provide more information
I gotta give
than
background.
me. No,
Mm,
no,
some
no,
shit.
no. You don't.
Some shit we don't need to know,
I
nigga.
think you
Right.
gotta put it in context, man.
Because what was it last week?
What happened last week? I told you that 137 proof. I don't know
No,
what
no,
I was
no, no.
talking about.
Before that,
Oh, damn. What
on
happened
the
before
way
that?
here,
Oh.
you were trying to provide me with more information than I needed.
Oh, when he asked you, did you want to see?
I was trying to get context to the story. I can show you better
It's,
than I can tell
it's
you.
it's some pictures she don't need to see. That was one of them.
I need you not to say, well, let me show it to you. No,
Yo,
I don't want to see your pictures.
look,
Okay?
Lady Antoinette. Notice he tried to act like it was 137
I
proof.
was like, no, no, no. It was before
But
that.
you gotta remember, I took off last Sunday. I told you I started drinking early, like at like
Well,
10
you
o'clock
were
at
You
in,
night.
you
always
were
bringing
just.
it. You Jamie Foxx ass nigga.
I'm
Stop
just
blaming
saying.
it on the
I
alcohol.
got to,
No,
baby.
it's
I got to.
you. It is
It's part of me. It
you.
only comes out when the alcohol gets added to it.
No, no.
It's a
Because
daily struggle to
first of
try to
all,
keep
if
it
that's the
straight.
case, it's already in you. They say
Okay.
alcohol is a truth serum. Am I
I
correct?
know. That's why I went to
Yeah.
therapy. I
Okay,
learned how to
so
control that side of me until
what
the
I'm
alcohol
saying
gets
is that
involved.
it's already in you, so
I
you
know
can't
that.
even blame the alcohol.
I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah.
It's not saying alcohol make me do it. It's what makes me say
I
it.
was like, I
No.
have never.
It
Like,
makes me say it.
You
You
was
know.
traumatized.
No, I mean,
where are
I
my
was
pearls?
trying.
I was trying to cook.
I was
Did
trying to
you,
put
what
it
did
in.
you just say?
I mean,
Is it some parts that she just don't want to
And
see?
I like literally start going on. He was like, no, but I'm gonna have to let me just show you the picture.
I
No,
can show
don't
you.
do not
I
show
can
me the
show you better
picture.
than I can tell you.
What you gonna do? Pixelated so she don't see the whole thing?
I mean, you know, you can zoom in on certain
No,
parts.
that makes it worse.
You know what? I'm about to play Renegade song because we gotta save the end of the show.
We gotta save our
Uh,
souls from
Bruh,
dealing
yes.
with
I'm
this one.
just saying, man. Sometimes you
So,
gotta put context to what we're talking about.
so
Yeah,
CP3.
no, I believe.
Before I play this Renegade joint, what can they? What y'all doing tomorrow? What can they find you?
Tomorrow night we're going to be talking a little bit about the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. We're going to be breaking down the NBA roundtable. Probably talking a little bit of hockey with the Caps. They won two out of three games so far. Got 5 out of 6 points, leading the Metro Division with the
Right.
new realignment. So we'll talk about that. Stay tuned. You know, we got so much more stuff coming. Come check me out at Waldorf Honda 2450 Crane Highway. I just made a deal on the air right now, so you know if I can make a deal doing this show while I'm drinking, I could damn sure make a good deal at a better
Oh boy.
dealership. So come on down to 2450 Crane Highway. When you need that new, used, or pre-owned certified vehicle, come ask for CP3 or Carol. They know what to do.
Okay.
Mm. You know what? See, it's the salesman's voice, it's the pimp voice, it's the interviewer voice.
I
You got
told you
so many people living in that head.
bro. I warned y'all beforehand, didn't I? I didn't. This should not be a surprise by now. We've been doing the show for how long together?
No, but you always been a little off.
Exactly.
Um,
That's why it should be no surprise on air. It gets worse.
Lady Antoinette, what are you gonna be up to?
Well, tomorrow I have a few meetings, but I will say that I will be in rare form. So
Put the backhand on the forehead.
hush. Okay. I will be in rare form this week as we celebrate our change in the executive branch and the legislative branch. We are celebrating these changes.
Hopefully, civil war doesn't break out.
I'm gonna be all over social media, so it's just if you ain't following me now, follow Lady Antoinette on Instagram and Facebook, and I will go ahead. Actually, on Facebook, I have a personal page with Lady Antoinette and a business page. You can just go ahead and like that. And I should debut my little Twitter this week as well. I know, right? I fought it. I did. I fought it, y'all. But it took 45 off of Twitter, and I'm like, you know what? Let me get on up on there. Let me get on there. They done deleted about 70,000 accounts, so.
Yeah,
Damn.
Twitter rough right now. So
Yeah, they little
rough.
scarce.
All right.
So I'm definitely going to speak my opinion.
So are you going to the inauguration now?
I'm not going down there. I was, but I'm not going down
Like,
there.
is your wrist healed now?
Hush up.
I'm just saying, it's just
But here's the
miraculous that it
thing.
healed right before the
Here
inauguration on
and see, I'm
Wednesday.
not like you. I can talk about previous employers. So my previous employer, the last employer
Before they
that
happen,
so my previous employer, I would actually have to be there.
Yeah.
I would be there. So kind of glad that
That
I'm
you don't
not
got her there.
there.
Just like
Yeah,
on that Wednesday
So
when they was coming into the Capitol,
I would have been there.
you just happened to not be at work, but sprained
yeah.
your wrist the same day.
Whatever. They
I'm just
evacuated
So
the building
I'm
though.
just saying it's a convenient coincidence
They
that the
did.
uh
They
same day
evacuated my old
that
see
they
building.
invaded, you had a sprained wrist probably from backhanding a couple of Trump supporters.
I
Because if
did
you follow her
not.
page, you see how she goes,
ooh.
and she virtually be backhanding folks on social media. So it's not
I
too far of a stretch
mean,
for her to
Is that
backhand
sometimes
is
folks.
that
people
not the
do
is
have
that not
to
the is
be
that not the pot
redirected.
calling the kettle black?
Hey, look,
Right.
I've never came in with a sprained wrist. I always make
No,
sure I
yes,
brace
you
myself.
have.
No, I never
I
had
have
a brace.
seen you in a brace before.
When?
On your arm.
When?
Like the whole time we worked together.
Oh, that was because I had
Uh huh.
some unloading. That
Uh
wasn't
huh.
from backhanding
Yeah.
people.
How I
Okay.
know? And I wasn't backhanding nobody.
Yeah, I'm still checking the tape. Still checking the footage
Anyway.
from that
Anyway,
weekend.
Anyway, but
anyway.
I'm gonna be real with you. This week on social media, I had a moment, right? And in that moment, this guy was coming for me. Okay, unwarranted. I did nothing to this man. I don't even know him. He was coming for me. We're not friends on social media, and I had to take a step back and say, you know what? Because all the things I wanted to say, I would have been put in Facebook jail,
That's why you ain't
or
boss.
he could have screenshot
That's why
and like press charges against me or something, or got some type of protective order. Because the way I was gonna lean in on him was a problem. Because he didn't know me, and the
Yeah.
way he was coming at me like he knew me, bruh, that's the worst thing to do. I'm not that
you.
chick.
Oh, see,
I pull up.
that's when you play it chill
Let
when you
her
see
get
IP.
CP3. CP3.
Yeah.
Can you let her
But
talk?
hold on, did he just say that's when you chill?
Yeah, that's when
I,
you
When
I,
chill.
did?
I know you ain't talking, bro.
Because that's when you call the IT dude to get the IP address, and that's when you
Okay,
go
but
in.
like I just said, I pull up.
You
That's
I
what
just
I'm
know,
saying.
but you can't say nothing before you pull up, because then
But
you become suspect.
that's what I'm saying. At the end of the
you,
day, I didn't want to go to Facebook or regular jail.
Yeah.
I didn't. Because if I would have pulled up, he would have had to call the police on me.
dude, you just said that's when you get the IP. Like what type of advice? Be quiet. Be quiet.
But the whole time he telling me something I already know. Like I already know.
Exactly.
I already know. I've pulled up on people. I have. Look, let me say something. I threatened this man who lived in Jersey, in North Jersey. I threatened him because I was on my way up there, and I got people in Jersey, and I don't mean like people like associates.
I
I
know.
got people.
I don't judge nobody because I don't threaten a lot of people in real life. So
And that's my thing. I don't know the difference between social media and real
yeah,
life. I'm gonna treat you the same.
yeah, pretty much.
And so that's the problem. But I did have to take a step back, and it was like a post that I put in like a group or something, and it wasn't even like serious. It was like a lighthearted post. So I had to turn the comments off to get myself together.
I feel you.
And
That's
and
and
then
that's very grown of you.
yeah, I'm very proud of myself because 5 years ago, I'm gonna tell you right now, it would have been completely different.
4 weeks ago for CP3, it would have been completely
And real
different.
I would have
talk,
said something, then I'd have left the
but
conversation.
real talk, I think maybe like a year ago, it would have been
Yeah, I'm about to say,
different.
yeah, I don't know about 4 or 5.
Yeah,
I'm about to say
I
maybe
know.
about six
nigga.
months. Maybe about 6 months.
And I stand by my previous statement. 4 weeks ago, it'd have been.
No, it's been more than 4 weeks. It's been about 7 weeks now. It's been about
Add the
7.
extra three.
So I had the
It,
extra
Put some
three.
respect on
it
it,
might
huh?
be longer than that. I got to go look at the calendar
No,
since
it
I've
won't.
been out. I think it's been longer than that because I haven't
Nah,
been.
you was in Facebook jail for a
Dog, you
minute.
just
Yeah.
told somebody. You just told somebody on the football season. Maybe
Yeah,
you
it
not.
was
Maybe
during the
maybe because
football
you don't
season.
speak English that
But
you
they
don't
didn't put me
understand.
in
And
jail
it
for
wasn't
that.
even at the beginning. It had to at least be the middle of the season.
Okay, so they didn't put you in jail for that. That doesn't make the comment right.
But I'm just saying.
But that doesn't make the comment
I
right.
haven't been incarcerated for my comments in a while.
And
Okay.
then you was on Sports on the Hill kind of going in a little bit.
Because sometimes some of these fans need
You got an excuse in the rebuttal for
Yeah.
sometimes they
everything.
need to get smacked on their forehead. What you
See,
did?
see,
You know what?
see
Bye.
this right here,
I'm just
right here,
saying.
this right here. Come on now.
Because
So
I'm just
so I'm gonna tell you like this. Next week, Who do we have next week? CP3.
I believe we are going to have Lady C in the building doing a live performance
Okay.
with our new setup that 151 is investing in himself, like we talked about. Me and the gentleman did on the with the crew. So stay tuned for so much more. We got a lot of exciting things for y'all to copy and emulate in 2021, and don't want to give a nigga credit because 151 is changing the game, baby.
Well, they always gonna follow suit. I'm just waiting for.
I love the shadiness though.
I'm just waiting for somebody to have a co-host named CP3, CP4, and and Lady A.
Coming to you live from in the bar radio.
In the bar radio.
In the bar radio.
In the bar radio.
Right now, if that's the case, we can pull up.
Oh, we gonna definitely pull up.
Well, we're gonna pull up at the studio.
They gonna have half a bar. We got a full bar.
Them niggas gonna come on at 6:01.
Nah, ain't coming on at all.
Yeah.
So next week we got. Next week we do have Lady C.
The lovely Lady C.
Hopefully she'll bring you some edibles.
I mean, we can try again.
I mean, they were so pretty.
Did you eat the last one?
Yeah. I eat a couple things Lady C get.
I bet you do. I bet you do, bastard.
But those were so pretty. And I was like, oh, and she was like, oh, they have, oh, wait.
Yeah. You wouldn't have got that new career.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, they was like, oh, 151, I bought you this. I was like, you bought Renegade. Renegade came up, was like, here.
She good folks, man. She came out, bought a new vehicle from her brother. I helped her out in the situation. And, she always a fan of the show. She always sharing on my post for the show and for my car sale stuff. So shout out Lady C. We love to have her here next week.
One of the things I really love about the interaction with some of the guests, but a lot of the guests that we have on the show is like you don't just stop being a guest because you're on the show, because then when you come back for that other interview, I'll be like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
who shit did you share? So why would I give you another interview? I look at small things like that because I'm petty as shit.
No doubt. Me too.
I am super petty. I am 151 straight with no chaser, aka I'm a petty ass Gemini.
But outside of you being petty, we have to understand that it's all about networking right now.
That is true.
And so you gotta be real careful. Like this is not my first show. The last show I was on, my DJ on that show, he still tags me and everything. And by all means, I'm gonna support him. He supports me. He shared this show. So it's all about those connections.
I mean, no, and I say this because salute to GOP, God rest his soul. That was my brother. When we stopped doing True Radio together, GOP was my biggest supporter. Like he literally watched my show every Sunday that I was on. He'd give me feedback and stuff like that. Like he's always been my biggest supporter. And I thought that was a lot of people thought we were beefing. And we wasn't. We just really support each other. So it's important to do things like that.
Right.
I miss that dude every day.
All the time, man. There's conversations I wish that we could have right now that I can't.
I can hear his voice right now, man. Like, bruh, I can hear it in my head, bruh. Like, I miss talking to that dude, man. One of the funniest things, we would talk for almost 2 hours on the phone. It'd be like an hour and 45. Like, we gotta go. The phone's be on the phone for more than 2 hours, and we're gay. So we would get on the phone. I used to love that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but we would talk about so much shit from the show, from politics to current events to just talking about real shit. And
he would always call you like, yo, 151. So I was like, what up? Because he never called me by my regular name. He always called me 151. So he was like, we would literally have a show, finish the show at 3:00, and then he'll call me at 4.
Pretty dead. Bro, I get off the air at 9:00. We on the phone at 9:30 to about 12:00, and then I gotta get up and go to work in the morning. I'm like, but you end up just talking about so much different shit. It
was always the best though, because he would call me and be like, yo, I couldn't sleep, but I knew there was one person that'd be up at this particular time.
He would call me at 5 in the morning because he knew I'd be up. I'm always up early and shit.
He was like, I just got one. He's like, I gotta ask you, what the fuck are you doing up? I was like, I don't know. I slept for 10 minutes and I'm up. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't sleep. You just making beats or thinking about doing some show shit or doing.
Well, you know, in your case, thinking about robbing somebody with a mask and
man, times is rough right now.
whatever. Let's play this.
Unemployment got cut off though.
You know what, CP3, you.
He be in these streets. Stop.
Crank it up, Pedro.
Here's a renegade something I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the DJ renegade.
I gotta wake up and go get the bread. I gotta go ahead and clip up the smash. She all in her feelings, she giving me sex. I got a slack, 12 on my ass. Count up on the move, that's a digital dash. They been just losing, I'm living these fads. Never go broke cause I got me a stash. I could never ever live in the past. I gotta wake up and go get the bread. I gotta go ahead and clip up the smash. She all in her feelings, she giving me sex. I got a slack, 12 on my ass. Count up on the move, that's a digital dash. They been just losing, I'm living these fads. Never go broke cause I got me a stash. I could never ever live in the past. But I dish it like I give it and go. Counting money while I chill at the stove. How I deliver, I've been at the dough. It's up to you how business will go. That 36 I get for the look. Count it up, no feelings will show. Spend so much, gotta get it some more. When they hands out, I just give them a note. How they always talk about me, but a nigga stand out. Watch out how you really walk up to me, that's a man down. All these niggas got these drums with them like a band now. I've been doing what I want, that's what you can't doubt. I've been just feeling myself. Do I just really need help? I got my weight up. I be just telling myself I got love for all of my dogs. I take a pay cut. Some niggas really gon' ride. Some niggas really gon' slide. So go say a prayer. We ain't never gotta slap 5. Nigga, just pay your tithes and call me the mayor. I gotta wake up and go get the bread. I gotta go ahead and clip up the smash. She all in her feelings. She giving me sex. I got a slack, 12 on my ass. Count up on the move. That's a digital dash. They been just losing. I'm living these fads. Never go broke cause I got me a stash. I could never ever live in the past. I gotta wake up and go get the bread. I gotta go ahead and clip up the smash. She all in her feelings, she giving me sex. I got a slack, 12 on my ass. Count up on the move, that's a digital dash. They been just losing, I'm living these fads. Never go broke cause I got me a stash. I could never ever live in the past.
Son of a bitch! C7ew.
I'm spitting like I always need me a dentist. I'm starting something that I always can finish. I'm boiling hot, yeah, I'm back in the kitchen. Whipping up, cause you know I'm a chemist. Ain't my baby mama, she always tripping. Quarantine, but I gotta keep my distance. Push your love if they blood and no crippin'. Reverse is fake if they knowin' the difference. I chop them birds when I'm counting these pitches. For my family, I'ma need some precision. Cause they hating and I'm way too consistent. Assist my niggas like I'm stocking them dishing. Swim these waters, better watch where you fishing. Take the heart away, I'm penny, I'm pinching. I've been counting, getting plenty of digits. Don't talk to me if it's not about business. I ain't satisfied to get in the middle. Niggas stupid, so I'm losing my feelings. Acting goofy, man, who are you really? Shawty really be topping my ceiling. Geeking after she done went up to Philly. Southside, yeah, we up in the building. Stop playing these the cars that they doing. Yeah. Nothing too major. Do me a favor and don't cop a play. I kept it 100. Just what you wanted, I promise I can. I'm waking you up, ain't saying too much. If you asleep. Oh, you see me now, you wanna be down. I know you peeped it, I got the juice. I got the juice, I got the juice. Your boy's a goof, your boy's a goof, your boy's a goof. I need a caboose, I chuck up the deuce, cause I got the juice. I got the juice, I got the juice, I got the juice. Picture me rolling, I'm Billy Ocean, these waters too deep. My bills always do drama right out the blue. And I just learned why mama can't get no sleep. They say money talking, bullshit just go up. But I thought talking was just getting too cheap. And part of my speeches is getting too deep. Am I acting too real, saying fuck how you feel? I'm sorry this subscriber cannot be reached. Talking behind my back, I hear you clearly, but I cannot see who you pretend to be, you still an enemy, I cannot be. Sipping this Hennessy, not wasting energy. I fought for this long, how can I flee? Why show you sympathy when you belittle me? Love all the way coming from Italy. I see that they sell it now, call it
ain't an auction. Setting up shop like it was a department. Putting them red dots don't become a target. Money's my language, you think that I'm foreign. There's a difference between balling and scoring. If I get it tonight, call in the morning. Back then I was sitting right on that corner, trying to see tomorrow, not see the corner.
Well, it's Renegade 703 on IG, and then on Twitter, it's only one Renegade, only one underscore Renegade. Then on YouTube, it's Renegade 703.
Are your eyes open?
Yes, they are. I see everything.
No, they're not, nigga.
The hell with both of y'all? Black and East, leave me alone.
Your voice going up a little bit.
You know how much alcohol I have consumed tonight?
2 cups, nigga.
I told you, even though it's something in it that just makes it.
Yeah, everything from the islands got something special.
No.
Like that rum from St. Croix there was 137 proof last week.
Well,
Yeah.
this one is just.
Why you bringing up old
rum.
shit?
I'm just saying, whenever y'all bring shit from the islands, it always got an extra kick to it.
Nigga, I bought it from the liquor store.
But this is like it has notes of different fruits and things.
Fruits and berries and such.
Apricot and peach and molasses.
That might go make it a little bit smoother. Yeah, it was a nice drink. I'm not gonna knock it. It was a nice drink.
All right, so you about to play this Wally B joint, the ending song of the joint. So CB3, no dancing.
He will.
I ain't got no choice, baby. If I feel it, I gotta
we
move,
go.
baby. I gotta move.
Thank y'all for watching. Yo, shout out to the crew. Shout out to Legend. Next week we got Lady P's going to talk about concert.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Wally B.
Shawty want more. Said she want more. She wants more. Yeah. More. She want it, baby. Shawty want more. Said she want more. Say you want more. Yeah. More. Just love it, baby. Shawty want more. Said she want more. She wants more. More. Yeah. More. Just love it, baby. Shawty want more. Said she want more. More. Yeah. More. Yeah. Let me exercise this feeling, baby. You know where we're starting to go.
Can you feel it, baby?
Temptation rising, body feeling, time don't even matter no more. Let me cuff your body, then blindfold you so you cannot see me no more. Let senses take over as I breathe on your body real slow.
Don't be scared, baby.
Shawty want more. Said she want more. She wants more. Yeah. More. Yeah. Love it, baby. Shawty want more. Said she want more. I know you want more. More. Yeah. More. Yeah. Shawty want more. Said she want more. She wants more. More. Yeah. More. Yeah. Shawty want more. Said she want more. I know you want more. More. Yeah. I ain't lying when I tell you that I need you here right by my side. Girl, your body got me feeling, and I think I'm about to lose my mind. Oh, yeah. So baby, show me how you love me. For the pleasure of this loving, we can explore fantasy, and I will show you the real ecstasy. I say, ooh, start off kiss, slowly make your body horny for me, baby, like baby. Then I'll make your back quiver as I touch and tease you with my tongue, girl. Got her body saying she want more. She want more. Shawty want more. Say she want more. She wants more. More, yeah. She love it. She love it, yeah. Shawty want more. Say she want more. She wants more. More, yeah. She love it. She want more. Shawty want more. Say she want more. More, yeah. More, yeah.
Let's make sure that you.
Hold on, let me stop the show.
Yeah, completely cut this off.
Right, make sure